ball clubs who in 6A are powerhouses. One expected, the other not so much so, and here come the Vikings. Got a good crowd here tonight at Etheridge Memorial Stadium. The Vikings at 5-0 and the Tate Aggies at 5-0. Tate is off to their best start in well over 15 years at the school. As alluded to with Coach Leonard earlier on, this is a program that a lot of folks really didn't know what to expect this year, and they have come out reeling off 5 consecutive victories, and every week this Tate club has been building and building its confidence level. And tonight we are going to find out who exactly will be a serious contender for a state title. These teams come in with identical records. But by the same token, we are looking at 2 teams right here with 2 totally different sets of talent. You look at the talent on paper for Fort Walton Beach, the likes of junior quarterback Drew Roberts, wide receiver 6'4" Corey Scott, number 1 Tony Lovelace coming out of the backfield, along with number 7 Oron Dixon coming out of the backfield. On the other side of the ball, DeWitt Dukes for the Tate Aggies. He is their speed burner and super running back. And TJ Touchstone, a short quarterback, but he has certainly been impressing folks thus far this year. Kicking off for Fort Walton Beach tonight, the ball blows off the tee to start off this evening. Sterling Riggs will be doing the kicking, number 89. Very spirited crowd tonight. This is the biggest game of the week in Northwest Florida high school football. And there is Riggs approaching the ball. He kicks it. It's a relatively short kick. It bounces down around the 10-yard line. It is picked up by number 24 for the Aggies. That was Courtney Clanton, a junior, and he is taken down at about the 15-yard line. And TJ Touchstone and the Aggies will begin their first possession at their own, looks to be 18-yard line is where they called him down. TJ Touchstone is a 5'9" quarterback, goes about 165 pounds, and he is a solid quarterback according to his coach, Keith Leonard. Touchstone pitches back in the backfield to DeWitt Dukes. Dukes shows exactly how strong he is right off the bat. Brought down at about the 31-yard line. That's a 13-yard gain right off the top for DeWitt Dukes. Keep your eye on that young man, number 2. We'll be calling out his name and number many times over the course of this evening's broadcast. DeWitt Dukes is a 5'10", 170-pound senior. Touchstone goes to his right side this time and stopped for, well, looks to be maybe about a yard gain, is number 5, Kendall McNeil, who is the other halfback coming out of the backfield. He's a 5'11", 185-pounder. A solid running game for Keith Leonard. And as the coach alluded to in the pregame show, his offense is not very complex. They don't have many plays in their playbook, but certainly his kids execute. There's Touchstone, who fakes the handoff and goes up the middle for look to be about 3 yards. TJ is an option quarterback, and he is a speedy young runner. He's short, he's quick, he's light, and he's very agile on his feet. Keep your eyes on that young man. We've got a 3rd and 3, ball spotted at about the 35-yard line. Bringing in the play is number 34, Kenny Wells for the Aggies. Touchstone on the third down. Hands off in the backfield to DeWitt Dukes, who is stuffed, loses about a yard on the play, and that's going to make it a 4th down, and the Aggies will punt the ball. So immediately Fort Walton Beach shows defensively that they have come to play. Terrific night for football tonight. Great weather. It's cooled off a little bit. Punter is number 48, Eric Smallwood. Back to receive is number 2 for Fort Walton, and the ball takes a definite Aggies bounce, and the ball is downed on, looks to be about the 13 or 14-yard line. That was Al Jackson who let the ball roll wisely. And we're now about to see what Fort Walton looks like on offense, led, of course, by junior quarterback Drew Roberts. He is number 11. Roberts fakes the handoff, hands off to his second man through the backfield. That is number 1, Tony Lovelace. Tony Lovelace to the 49-yard line. And we have seen this man before. And what else could we say about Tony Lovelace? That was about a 34-yard rush for Tony Lovelace. What else can we say about him that we haven't already said? Just a couple of weeks ago, in the rain and the muck and the mire at Pensacola High School, Tony Lovelace rushed for close to 200 yards and led a vicious ground game that nobody expected would be effective, but was, and once again he comes out smoking. Handoff goes to Lovelace again, picks up 6 more yards directly up the middle. So already Tony Lovelace is averaging 20 yards per carry on 2 carries. That young man's stock has been increasing all season long. Very impressive running back. Keep your eye on number 1, Tony Lovelace. 8 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We're at Etheridge Memorial Stadium in Fort Walton Beach. Art Goodman along with you. Here's Drew Roberts handing off out of the backfield again to Lovelace. Lovelace picks up about 5 more yards, and that will be a first down for Fort Walton Beach. Coach Joey Rankin has got himself such a tremendous running game. Oron Dixon, who is his other running back, who wears number 7, has had ankle problems in recent weeks, has not been at top speed. He is replaced in the backfield now by number 28, and the handoff goes up the middle. Number 28, that is Cornelius Rose for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings, and Rose picks up about 3 yards on that carry. So Fort Walton Beach establishing this drive. The ball is spotted at the 34-yard line. Handoff goes in the backfield to Tony Lovelace, who breaks tackles, breaks out into the open, and is downed at the 16-yard line. That's an 18-yard rush for Tony Lovelace, who already has himself 63 yards on 4 carries this evening. Tony Lovelace, it seems as if every time this young man is on television, he shines, and he is shining this evening. Ball spotted on about the 18-yard line. Drew Roberts at quarterback. Hands off out of the backfield, and he faked to Lovelace this time. No score, 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter at Fort Walton Beach. Nice cool evening. Getting to be closer and closer to football weather. We keep saying that. It seemed as if last week we really had some October weather. It warmed up again this week, but tonight we've got a nice about 15-mile-an-hour breeze, and it's definitely a great night for football here in Fort Walton. Roberts checks off, and that was Corey Scott on the right side. Hands off. That's Oron Dixon. Dixon in for the score. 13 yards, Oron Dixon, touchdown, Fort Walton Beach. And right off the bat, Fort Walton Beach marches 85 yards downfield for the score and goes up 6-0 over the Tate Aggies. And we're setting up for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the score is Fort Walton Beach 7, Tate nothing.
Your Santa Rosa County Connection, Milton Newspapers, Inc., publishers of Santa Rosa Free Press, South Santa Rosa Sun, Santa Rosa Press Gazette. Whatever your advertising needs are in Santa Rosa County, north or south, we can connect you. In Milton and Pace, call 623-2120 and ask for Jim Martin, Jimmy Moore, Teresa Cahoon. In South Santa Rosa County, for the Santa Rosa Sun, call Rhonda Bernal at 934-0027. Buy 1, 2, or 3. Get connected today. 3 days, 3 newspapers, 1 billing system.
Winkles Pharmacy in Pace is your hometown pharmacy with friendly folks you can trust. When you need expert advice from a professional pharmacist, talk to David Winkles and his experienced staff about all your healthcare needs. Special orders are no problem at Winkles, and they offer free local delivery and a drive-up window. You want your pharmacist to be knowledgeable and be able to give you valuable advice you can depend on. That's Winkles Pharmacy. Workers' comp and third-party plans are also welcome. Winkles Pharmacy, Highway 90 in Pace.
Well, lightning has struck here at Fort Walton Beach, and what can I say about this offense spearheaded by Drew Roberts? On that drive, we looked at a remarkable set of rushes on the part of Tony Lovelace. He rushed for 63 yards on that drive. Oron Dixon with a 13-yard run took it in. That drive was absolutely stupendous. 85 yards in only 9 plays. 7-0 Fort Walton Beach. Sterling Riggs kicking off for the Vikings, who have got to feel real good about that one. The ball is taken by the Aggies, and he is smothered at about the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball actually looks to be spotted. Looks like they'll spot it at about the 27-yard line. Back to the drawing board for Keith Leonard and his troops. Tate came in unbeaten, but I don't think they've seen the likes of Fort Walton Beach. And yet this evening, I don't think that Fort Walton Beach's magic is yet over. I have the feeling this team has certainly come to play. Touchdown at quarterback, and he hands the ball off, fakes the handoff, faked out our camera person as well, and that is DeWitt Dukes, showing how tough a young man he really is, and he picks up, looks to be about 7 yards on that carry. DeWitt Dukes now up around 20 yards for the evening. Keep your eye on that young man. DeWitt Dukes, number 2, 5'10" 170-pound senior. Many colleges looking at that young man. Touchdown pitches back once again to Dukes. Dukes looks like he's going to be trapped in the backfield. He was almost tackled, but number 60 for Fort Walton Beach, that is Jamal Yates, a defensive lineman, a senior, 5'11", about 176, got his paws on him and wouldn't let go, and hog-tied him and brought him down. And that's the Northwest Florida water break, and this gives us the opportunity to once again remind you that the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is a proud sponsor of high school football, and the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is moving soon to their brand new 12,000 square foot location at 1149 Gulf Breeze Parkway in the Food World Shopping Center. The new center will feature a state-of-the-art cardio theater with more than 30 pieces of equipment, including a dozen new treadmills and more stair steppers and life cycles than any club in the area. And there's a whole lot more I'll be telling you about over the course of tonight's game. game. For more information, just call Mike or Tony at the number you see on your screen, 934-0335. Find out how you can take advantage of spectacular pre-move rates. In fact, you can enroll at the new Gulf Breeze Aerobics and Fitness Center for as little as $19 a month for singles and $15 a month each for couples. Again, that phone number, 934-0335. Call as soon as you can. These rates will not last long. Back to the action. There's Touchstone over to the right side, left side, going. DeWitt Dukes is going all the way. That young man was almost headed at the corner. Touchdown, 66 yards. DeWitt Dukes. There are no flags down on the field. Folks, what can I tell you? We previewed this one as being an electric battle, and what can I tell you? With 5 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Tate Aggies have gotten back into this ball game. DeWitt Dukes, a 66-yard run for pay dirt. The kick is up. The kick is good by Mark Baker. We have got ourselves a beauty. With 5:22 remaining in the first quarter, we're knotted. Fort Walton Beach 7, Tate 7.
I'm Dean Githens for Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, where leather sofas start at only $600 and go all the way to $3,000. Leather sectionals start at only $1,200 up to $10,000, and you can have it custom built just the way you want it, and we'll have it in your home in 2 to 3 weeks. Or buy from our huge inventory, like this leather rocker recliner in your choice of 6 colors for only $459.95. Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, Mobile Highway, Cordova Mall, and Fort Walton Beach.
This winter's going to be a cold one, but Elliott's Heating and Air Conditioning can keep you toasty warm this winter with a new high-quality Rheem central heating system. Elliott's is your local Rheem dealer and has the knowledge and experience to do the job right. Financing is even available. If your existing unit is not heating like it should, call 968-1216 for a pre-winter checkup and let Elliott service your system and get it heating like it should. Let Mr. Elliott keep your system warm on the cold nights ahead. Call 968-1216.
Hudson House Restaurant and Grill, old-fashioned excellence brought to you from the Hudson family traditions in a unique style restaurant grill with large portions and good value. A restaurant with homemade sauces and quality ingredients. A place with a lively, fun atmosphere where children are always welcome. A place where the customer is assured of warm and friendly service from hometown folks, Rodney and Nan Hudson. Whether it be steak, chicken, pasta, ribs, or their incredible dessert, it's Hudson House.
You've worked hard for how many years? You deserve your dream home. Different from the rest, custom built just for you with all the things you want. Sanborn Builders is your answer. Since 1970, they've been constructing quality into every home and office they've built.
My wife and I waited 20 years for the right house, and Mike has built our dream house.
You can rely on their education, professionalism, and desire to fulfill your dreams.
I'm tremendously happy with the progress here, and it's hard to imagine how it could be any better.
Call Mike Sanborn at 623-9409.
Well, folks, sometimes when you preview a big game, there's a lot more hype than substance. And sometimes when you preview a big game, there's a whole lot more substance than hype. And we have got a whole lot more substance tonight, and I cannot tell you exactly where this game is going to go. All I can tell you is that we have got a dandy on our hands. And there's the kickoff, and it will be downed in the end zone. A tremendous kickoff. And what we have got here is a second to take a breath. 5:22 remaining in the first quarter, and we have got ourselves a tremendous ball game. And I hope you'll stay with us, because I have a feeling that if you move away from your TV set too long this evening, you're going to miss something. The Vikings back on offense, and we are, of course, looking at Drew Roberts. Roberts guiding the offense. Hands off out of the backfield, and looks to be about a 3-yard gain. That's going to make it a second. Let's see what they gave him on that one. Ball's actually going to be spotted just over the 20, so he really didn't get very much at all. It's only about a half a yard. Looking at some of the fans in attendance tonight. And Drew Roberts back to pass, his first pass of the night, and the ball is caught. That is Corey Scott at the 40-yard line, and once again, we have talked Corey Scott so many times. This young man has got such a bright future. Soft hands, speed when he's out in the open, and 6'4". When you're 6'4", you have absolutely everything going for you, because there just aren't defenders who can guard you when you are that tall at this level. And there's the handoff. It's going to Tony Lovelace. Lovelace for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. On first down, it looks as if Lovelace has picked up yet another first down. Let's see if they give it to him. No, actually, they're giving him 9 yards on that carry. Actually, it's probably about 9.5 for Lovelace. 72 yards thus far on the evening for Tony Lovelace.
Trying to get power.
As Drew Roberts handing off out of the backfield right up the middle. We expected this one to be a wide open offensive show, and that is what we have got going for us. That's a first down for the Vikings. Roberts at quarterback, and he fakes the handoff, goes to his left, throws to his left. That is Tony Lovelace out of the backfield, jukes, drives at the 30, inside the 30-yard line. That is going to be, looks to be about a 14-yard catch and run for Tony Lovelace. Very impressive young man, and what a team this Fort Walton Beach team is. Ranked number 10 in Class 6A as we speak, and they're certainly living up to that ranking, and they continue playing like this. Who knows how far this team could go. Corey Scott in motion. The pitch back to number 7, Oron Dixon, picks up 5-6 yards. There's a flag down in the backfield, and it looks like there could be a hold against the Vikings. Yes, it is against the Vikings, and this one will be called back. And let's see, they're going to be setting them back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. This is going to be a 10-yard penalty, and it is going to set Fort Walton back to about the 39-yard line. That's your best defensive play thus far of the evening on the part of Tate. No humor intended there. This Fort Walton Beach team has been almost impossible to stop. There's Lovelace handing off to Oron Dixon, picks up 5 yards. Oron Dixon, another impressive running back. He has got himself the touchdown this evening that put Fort Walton Beach up, and that lead did not last long. We are at 7-7 here in the first quarter. About 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining at Etheridge Memorial Stadium in Fort Walton Beach. Art Goodman along with you for this week's Northwest Florida High School Football Game of the Week. We have got an inter-county battle, and major Okaloosa power against a major Escambia power, a district battle. There's Drew Roberts back to pass, his third pass of the evening over the middle. That is Corey Scott. Touchdown, Vikings. 35 yards. 35 yards with 1 minute 54 seconds remaining. Fort Walton Beach on the board once more. 13-7 is our score. The kick is up. The kick is good by Sterling Riggs. And my, what a battle. 14-7 is our score. 1:54 remaining in the first quarter. We've got ourselves an offensive show in Fort Walton Beach.
I remember little Jenny learning to swim. I also remember showing her parents how to care for their pool. I'm a BioGuard authorized dealer. They told me I made their pool one of life's simple pleasures, like when I helped get their water in shape for Jenny's Sweet 16 party. Look at that water sparkle. I think I'm as proud of it as they are of Jenny. Thanks to BioGuard.
Make your pool a simple pleasure.
My, happy fans, cheerleaders, fans in the stands. We have got ourselves the beauty of a ball game. Our score is 14-7. We have not yet played a quarter, and it looks like all throttles are open, and we're going to have ourselves quite a ball game, quite an offensive show. 35-yard touchdown pass from Drew Roberts to Corey Scott, and Corey was wide open. Looking at the Vikings cheerleaders, and boy, they got to be happy about this particular ball game's progress thus far. Kicking off for the Vikings is Sterling Riggs. It's a high kick. It's a short kick. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks at about the 20-yard line. We've got a whistle on the play, and I believe his knee was down, and that's what they're going to call it. Number 34 for the Tate Aggies, that was Kenny Wells, a junior. His knee touched at the 20-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot it at about the 21, and TJ Touchstone and his band of Tate Aggies take over with a minute 52 remaining in this first quarter. Once again, looking to come from behind and get back into the ball game. We need Michael Jackson at halftime. This one is going to be a thriller, I promise you, folks. There's TJ handing off on the, actually faking the handoff, and TJ didn't fake anybody out on that one. He lost about 2 yards on that, maybe 3. Looks like he's taken down. Actually, they're going to spot him at about the 20-yard line. The officials tonight are, how shall we say, generous, I believe, with their spots this evening. Our officials, by the way, our referee is Mike Parks. Our umpire is Bob Johnson. Chuck Franzelia is our linesman. Our line judge is Chuck Bonta. Our back judge is Ron Riddell. And our clock keeper is Roger Klinkingbeard. Is TJ again on the quarterback option. Pitches out to his left side. DeWitt Dukes up past the 30-yard line, up to about the 33-yard line. Picks up 13 yards on that carry. And DeWitt Dukes, again, I can only tell you to keep your eye on him. And you better, if you're a cameraman working this game, you better move quick, because DeWitt Dukes has already got himself a 66-yarder in the bank. And this young man is slippery as an eel. He is hard to bring down, and he is tough to follow. He's a speed burner. He gets out into the open field, and what can we say? This young man has got a tremendous amount of talent. I believe we'll be hearing a lot from DeWitt Dukes in the future at the next level. He is a senior being looked at by many colleges. Touchstone fakes the handoff, goes to his right. Touchstone still standing. 2 tackles were missed, and Touchstone is brought down on looks to be about the 37-yard line. It was a 2nd and 10. Touchstone, the senior quarterback, he's small, 5'9", 165 pounds, but you see that he is a scrambling quarterback and working in Keith Leonard's option offense. It's perfectly suited to that young man, and I think you see already exactly how well suited he is to that. That's going to do it for our first quarter. We have got 12 minutes under our belts, 36 to go. Fort Walton Beach 14, Tate 7.
Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29 in Pensacola is the oldest and largest manufacturer of aluminum buildings in town. For over 29 years, Ed has been in the business of quality and service. Aluminum buildings in all sizes and several colors. Utility trailers in all sizes and colors with new 3,500-pound axles. Carports installed from 12 by 20 to 2 big. Setup and delivery, financing available, Visa, MasterCard. Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29, just north of 9 Mile Road. Ed's Aluminum Buildings.
At Jerry's Tire and Wheel Center in Milton, you'll find low prices every day on quality tires, sporty wheels, and service second to none. Complete brake work, four-wheel computer alignment, shocks and oil change, all the things your car needs. Jerry's Tire and Wheel offers a road hazard guarantee on passenger tires from bead to bead, and the best equipment and best trained men in the area. Just south of King Middle School on Stewart Street in Milton, Jerry's Tire and Wheel, where they really care about your car. Quality tires with a supermarket price.
Babcock Chiropractic Clinic offers the benefit of 31 years of practice experience in chiropractic health care, and Dr. Babcock is a graduate of Parker College. They provide good old-fashioned chiropractic care, and their office includes physical therapy procedures when necessary. You'll get care for auto accident injuries, sports injuries, and common household injuries. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic, 2150 East 9 Mile Road, 474-9970. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic.
Jackson Pace Pharmacy, located at the corner of Pine Forest and 9 Mile Road across from the Milestone subdivision, is your friendly neighborhood, independently owned, full-service pharmacy that includes free prescription delivery, the diabetes shop with a full line of diabetic supplies and food items, gift items, greeting cards, and a drive-through window. Most insurance accepted. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and closed Sunday. Jackson Pace Pharmacy, corner of Pine Forest Road and 9 Mile Road, Pensacola.
Want the feeling of the outdoors with temperatures that you control? You can have the year-round spring feeling with a Sunroom Concepts patio room from Foker's. Filled with light but weather-tight, the Sunroom Concepts patio rooms come in many sizes and styles, including skylights and sliding patio doors. They make wonderful additions to any home without the big cost of an additional room. Need to stretch out into a restful room that's perfect for recreation and relaxation? Call Foker's today and get free skylights in your new patio room.
14-7 is our score. Welcome back. And there is a defensive stuff at about the 34-yard line. That was a 3rd and 5. And it looks as if number 28, Cornelius Rose, the defensive end who doubles at running back, was in on that tackle. The Aggies have got themselves a battle this evening. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line for Tate. Touchstone fakes the handoff. Looked like he might have been down in the backfield. He's eluded 2 or 3 tackles already and finally brought down by number 45. That is Troy McLean for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. And that was a major loss for Touchstone. That play started at the 37. It's going to be spotted at about the 29. So that's an 8-yard loss for TJ Touchstone, who is right now on the evening. He is a minus 3 yards overall rushing. And back to punt for the Aggies is Eric Smallwood, and he gets it off. It's a good high kick. And and we are going to have a flag on that one. Number 4 for the Aggies was Jabiri Moore. He was a little overzealous, shall we say. And he blasted the receiver on that one, who was number 4, Thaddeus Rose, for Fort Walton Beach. And, of course, that will be yardage tacked on to that kick and fair catch. Fair catch was made at about the 35. They're going to bring this one up 15 yards, and it's going to mean the drive will start on the 48-yard line unsportsmanlike conduct against Tate, and the drive will start at the 48 of the Tate Aggies. Drew Roberts in at quarterback. Roberts already with one touchdown pass to his credit, checks off Corey Scott in motion to the right side. Roberts pitches back to Oron Dixon. Dixon down to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. Oron Dixon had 18 yards in the first quarter, and they're going to give him 7 on that carry here in the second quarter, which means he is up to 25 yards. Who said I can't do math? And Tony Lovelace, by the way, in that first quarter had 72 yards. And there goes Tony Lovelace, cuts once to his right and is brought down just about at the line of scrimmage. Tony may get a half a yard on that one. That's going to make it a third down and about 3 for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. That's really about the first time tonight that Tony Lovelace has been neutralized, and this is an adjustment that Keith Leonard's defense is going to have to make in this ball game if Tate is going to stay in this ball game, because Tony Lovelace in that first quarter 72 yards, and that is just about, and plus a 14-yard reception. That's just about too much for one quarter. The handoff goes straight up the middle. It's going to be close to first down yardage, and it looks as if number 1, Tony Lovelace actually it's short. He picked up about 2.5 on that, and he's going to be short of the first down. So right now, this is a decision on the part of Coach Joey Rankin. And at home, this is the decision you want to make. The ball's spotted at about the 38-yard line. Fans are on their feet. Quarterback keeper by Drew Roberts, and it looks as if he got himself the first down. Officials timeout. They may measure this one. But it is a first down. No need for a measurement. Drew Roberts gets the first down for the Vikings, and their drive continues. This is a drive that began back on the 48-yard line of Fort Walton, of Tate. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, roughing the receiver, gave some significant return yardage, as it were, to Fort Walton as this drive began. Roberts handing off to his left side. Tony Lovelace again. 5, 10, 15. Look at him cut. 20, 22 yards. That young man is incredible. They're going to give him 22 yards on that carry. For the evening right now as we stand, Tony Lovelace already has 96 yards rushing. Actually, they're going to give him a little bit more than that. They're going to give him 24 yards. So let's give him 98 yards on the evening. Roberts faking the handoff, pitches back. Oron Dixon, the other threat out of the backfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Oron Dixon, 15-yard rush, touchdown, Fort Walton Beach. Did you see him rush? That was incredible. Sterling Riggs in for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good with 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Fort Walton's offensive machine is cranked and in high gear. It's the Vikings 21, the Tate Aggies 7.
I'm Dean Githens for Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, where leather sofas start at only $600 and go all the way to $3,000. Leather sectionals start at only $1,200 up to $10,000, and you can have it custom built just the way you want it, and we'll have it in your home in 2 to 3 weeks. Or buy from our huge inventory, like this leather rocker recliner in your choice of 6 colors for only $459.95. Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, Mobile High and Fort Walton Beach.
say, it is a remarkable offensive show that is being put on by the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. Oron Dixon tonight, 2 touchdowns, a 13-yard run for pay dirt in the first quarter. You just saw him rush 15 yards for a touchdown on the evening. Oron Dixon now has 40 yards on the evening rushing. And also, let's not forget Corey Scott, that 35-yard touchdown pass reception from Drew Roberts. The ball blows off the tee, and that's about the only way you're going to stop Fort Walton Beach tonight from moving forward. A remarkable offensive performance thus far, and we have really so much time remaining in this ball game. There's the kickoff by Riggs. It is taken by number 34 for the Tate Aggies down around the 22-yard line. That is Kenny Wells once again, and Kenny Wells is stopped at about the 30. Coach Keith Leonard right about now has got to sit down with his defense and give these kids the what for, because right about now nothing is stopping the Fort Walton Beach offense, and considering the Vikings defense, which held the Aggies in check on their last drive, right about now sweaty palms abound on the Tate sideline. TJ Touchstone, a quarterback. He pitches back to DeWitt Dukes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 yards. Well, looks to be about 9 or 10. Let's see where they spot his knee down. It looks like he's not going to get nearly as much yardage as I claimed the young man was going to get. And we're going to say he picked up about 7 or 8 on that one. They gave him 8 yards on that. So right about now, DeWitt Dukes is over 100 yards on the evening. 106 yards. Touchstone hands off out of the backfield and up the middle. That is number 5, the almost forgotten running back, Kendall McNeil, a senior, 5'11", 185 pounds, coming out of the backfield. And I guess that tends to give Mr. Dukes a bit of a breather. But right about now, I think that DeWitt Dukes doesn't want a breather. He's, give me the ball, coach. I'll take it for you. But Kendall picked up the first down on that carry. There's the handoff. DeWitt Dukes one more time. There's a flag down on the play. Looks to be on the right side. That was about a 3-yard gain. And let's see what the initial, we got a face mask. And the face mask, it will be going, let's see, it's going to go against the Tate Aggies. Boy, when something jumps up and bites you, it can bite hard. And that was a tough call against the Aggies. I did not see the face mask, but obviously the official did. And they're going to take this one back, and that's going to nullify the 3-yard gain. This will be a 10-yard step off against the Tate Aggies. This is going to make it a first down, and it looks to be first and 10 again. First and 18, excuse me. It's TJ Touchstone once again at quarterback for the Aggies. Pitches back to DeWitt Dukes, who hands off. No, he faked the handoff. He's still got the ball. He's in the open field. Watch out! DeWitt Dukes all the way. Touchdown. 68 yards. DeWitt Dukes, a remarkable run. He faked out me. He faked out our camera people. I thought he handed the ball off in the backfield to Jabri Moore, but he did not. He kept it and ran 68 yards for the score. Unbelievable. The kick is up. The kick is good by Mark Baker. We've got a timeout on the field. 6:06 remaining in the first half. Our score is now Fort Walton Beach 21, Tate 14. We got a beauty.
That's right, Pensacola. We're here, and we're no rookies. Save thousands of dollars away for our home center, Pensacola. The largest private-owned dealers in America are now at your back door. Due to our huge volume savings, you can save thousands on your new home. Don't let a salesman tell you you're getting a good deal. Get the facts in writing at Wayne Fire's new model home center, Pensacola. That's right, we're here, and we're here to stay. Wayne Fire Home Center, Highway 29 North, Pensacola.
And 74 yards in less than a quarter and a half of play, and 2 touchdowns, one measuring 68 yards, the other measuring 66 yards. Folks, that's why we call this the game of the week. The kickoff goes into the end zone, and once again, Fort Walton Beach will get an opportunity to show what they can do on offense. They've got a 21-14 lead, and I have a feeling that in this ball game, no lead is going to be safe. Quarterback Drew Roberts has attempted 3 passes this evening, completed them all, including a touchdown pass to Corey Scott, measuring 35 yards. Hands off out of the backfield. That's Oron Dixon, goes for 5 yards. Oron Dixon now up to 45 yards on the evening. Oron had 18 in the first quarter. He has got thus far 27 yards here in the second quarter. Tony Lovelace is right around 100 yards right now. We've got Tony Lovelace for 98 yards in the ball game. Well, we promised you folks, these two teams were going to be something special up against one another, and thus far, I don't think anybody lied. A couple of 5-0 teams, both with a lot of heart, a lot of spirit. And that's our Northwest Florida water break. And I want to remind you once again, the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is a proud sponsor of high school football. And they're moving soon to their brand new 12,000 square foot location at 1149 Gulf Breeze Parkway in the Food World Shopping Center in Gulf Breeze. And for circuit training, the Gulf Breeze Fitness and Aerobic Center is going to be featuring more than 50, that's 50 pieces of state-of-the-art workout machines, including equipment by Bodymaster, Cybex, and Icarian, and there's a whole lot more I'll be telling you about later on in the broadcast. Just call Mike or Tony at 934-0335 as soon as you can. Find out how you can take advantage of their spectacular pre-move rates. In fact, you can enroll in the new Gulf Breeze and Aerobics Fitness Center for as little as $19 a month for singles and $15 a month for couples. Call now. Drew Roberts hands off out of the backfield and stopped for virtually no gain. Tony Lovelace, and isn't that the first time tonight I have said stopped for virtually no gain, Tony Lovelace? And that was on a second down. It's going to make it 3rd and 5 right now for the Vikings, and Tate needs to come up big if they want to get back in this ball game. Right about now, the Tate Aggies, as good as they're looking on offense, they've got to make a stand on defense. They've got to make a show to show what their defensive core is like. There's the fake pitch. Roberts back to pass. Oh, the pass is incomplete. That was number 81. That was Stephen Lee, a tight end senior, 6'2", 191 pounds. He wanted to convince the official that he had made the catch, but he did not make the catch. That's going to make it a 4th and 5, and the stop has been made. The defensive statement has been expressed on the part of the Tate Aggies with 4 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the second quarter, excuse me. And there's the punt on the part of Drew Roberts. And and the ball takes it actually takes an Aggies bounce, just a brief Aggies bounce, and will be downed on about the 48-yard line, which is where Tate will begin their drive. And right about now, Coach Joey Rankin has got to be concerned about containing DeWitt Dukes. And the fans are up now, and they're basically telling Coach Joey Rankin, keep your eye on number 2. Because tonight, number 2 is definitely number 1. 174 yards. That's what I've got DeWitt Dukes for thus far this evening. Touchstone hands off out of the backfield, and there's a fumble on the play. That was Kendall McNeil, number 5. He was down on about the 47-yard line. Looked to be a no gain on that play. Maybe lost a half a yard on that play. Looking at some of the Viking cheerleaders tonight and some of the Tate Aggie cheerleaders. As Dustin Hoffman said in Rain Man, very sparkly. Pretty young ladies out to cheer on their home team. And there's the handoff from Touchstone, and that's to Kendall McNeil. He is smothered. Cornelius Rose, number 28, and number 35, John Townsend, in on the tackle. We had mentioned earlier on to keep an eye on John Townsend. John Townsend, a 6'2", 190-pound junior linebacker, very strong, has the ability, I think, of a man much larger than 190 pounds. A very strong young man, and just a junior for the Vikings. It's going to make it a 3rd and 10, and there's the pitch back. That is number 27 out of the backfield. Oh my goodness. Bryant Thomas, where did he come from? Bryant Thomas is down after breaking out into the open field. The play started at the 48. That Brian Thomas just picked himself up 24 yards. And that young man is a junior. And once again, another offensive rushing threat coming out of the bullpen, out of the backfield, the bullpen, as it were, for Keith Leonard, who seems to be able to keep bringing in fresh running backs and have them eat up the ground. There's Kendall McNeil up the middle for maybe a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Tate team is very impressive. Keep in mind, this is a Tate ball club that, coming into the season, had only 2 winning years in the last 10 seasons. Last year's squad was 3-7. Pitch back, that goes to Thomas once again. Thomas is neutralized in the backfield. That's going to make it a 3rd down. And that young man is built like a fire plug. He's short, stocky. He's got that low center of gravity, so those strong legs helped him on the previous rush, but this time he was focused on and brought down. It's going to make it a 3rd and 8. Thomas was credited for 2 yards on that carry. Minute 55 remaining here in the second quarter. We're at Etheridge Memorial Stadium in Fort Walton Beach. Thanks for being with us. Touchstone, jump pass over the middle. It's incomplete. The ball was intended for number 80, Jeff Pierce, a tight end junior, 6'2", 220-pounder. Now here's going to come an interesting decision for Coach Keith Leonard. We don't know what kind of a kicking game he has got, but right about now we are looking at a decision time, and there is a timeout on the field being called by Tate so that Coach Leonard can make that decision. Minute 44 remaining in the first half. Fort Walton 21, Tate 14.
Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29 in Pensacola is the oldest and largest manufacturer of aluminum buildings in town. For over 29 years, Ed has been in the business of quality and service. Aluminum buildings in all sizes and several colors. Utility trailers in all sizes and colors with new 3,500-pound axles. Carports installed from 12 by 20 to 2 big. Setup and delivery, financing available, Visa, MasterCard. Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29, just north of 9 Mile Road. Ed's Aluminum Buildings.
This is WHBR TV.
We are back with 1:44 remaining in the second quarter at Etheridge Memorial Stadium in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I am Art Goodman. Thanks for joining us on this week's Northwest Florida High School Football Game of the Week. And again, the key phrase, the game of the week. Boy, do we have a barn burner tonight. The Tate Aggies right about now with a 4th down and 8 are going to go for it. The fans are on their feet. TJ pitches back. DeWitt is going to be short. Give DeWitt 6 yards on that carry. The Vikings hold. You cannot fault Coach Leonard for that one because DeWitt Dukes had gained 174 yards. Had those 2 spectacular runs. And if you've got 8 yards with a young man who's got those kind of moves in your backfield, why not go for it? Obviously, his kicker does not have a strong enough leg. Drew Roberts passing off to the right side. Ball is complete and out of bounds to who else but Corey Scott. That is Corey Scott's 3rd reception on the evening, and the ball will be spotted at about the 32. About the 32. That's a 12-yard reception. That's thus far for Corey Scott this evening. He has got 67 yards on 3 catches, and Drew Roberts has completed 4 of 5 passes for the Vikings. Roberts back to pass one more time. Goes once again to the right side, once again to Corey Scott. As we have alluded to, when you've got a wide receiver who is 6'4", you cannot defend against him, especially a receiver with hands like Corey Scott. Corey Scott, the ball is now down on the 43-yard line. That is yet another 1st down. That's a 10-yard completion. Drew Roberts is now 5 out of 6. 1:23 remaining in the second quarter. Roberts back to pass once more, this time to his left side, and Oron Dixon out of the backfield picks up the ball. He gets to about midfield, and Dixon will, let's see, he'll be about 7 yards on that one, so he will have a, let's see, we're going to give that, we do not have the official. Clock is stopped with 1:14 remaining in the first half. There's a holding call against the Aggies, and that's going to be more yardage, more free yardage for the Vikings. That's not what Coach Leonard wants to see from his troops. I did not see the hold on that play, but it is yardage for free. The clock doesn't move. The ball is now spotted at the Tate 40-yard line. Drew Roberts at quarterback. Have a feeling he's going to put the ball up in the air again. No, but he hands off to the left side. That's Oron Dixon. Oron Dixon picks up 6 yards on that carry. And there's another flag down on the play. And the officials are conferring, and this will be an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Tate Aggies. And right about now, Keith Leonard's troops are making critical mistakes. They're enhancing this Fort Walton Beach drive. And the music in the background says it all. The Vikings definitely have the eye of the tiger right now. The ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Sterling Riggs is the kicker for the Vikings, and he's got a good strong leg, so in the event that the Vikings wish to go for a field goal, that could well be an option. Drew Roberts going to his left, passes complete to Corey Scott. The ball will will be spotted. Looks to be on about the 7-yard line. That's another 12-yard gain. And Drew Roberts is having a field day in the first half. By my calculation, he's completed 6 of 7 passes, and 5 of those have gone to Corey Scott. And this is a weakness that Coach Joey Rankin is obviously exploiting with 44.7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Fort Walton Beach is knocking on the door one more time, looking for their 4th touchdown of the first half. There's Roberts, 2-step drop, touchdown, Corey Scott! Unbelievable. What a drive on the part of the Vikings. Corey Scott catches his 2nd touchdown pass of the night from Drew Roberts. Drew Roberts now 7 of 8 on the night. That's 8 yards for a touchdown. Sterling Riggs on for the point after. The ball is spotted, it's kicked, it's up, it is good. With 41 seconds remaining in the first half, our score is the Vikings 28, the Aggies 14.
Don't be afraid of acupuncture. Do you know what the acupuncture clinic can do for you? For over 20 years, Dr. Sheng, a Chinese physician and nationally board-certified acupuncture specialist and herbologist, has been tremendously successful in treating post-stroke paralysis, Bell's palsy, lower back pain, rheumatoid arthritis, tennis elbow, and other ailments. The acupuncture clinic also specializes in herbs from the traditional to the most exotic. Don't suffer from pain. Try acupuncture now. For more information, call the acupuncture clinic at their offices in Mobile or Pensacola.
Gents formal wear. In-stock inventory. Money back guarantee. Wedding specialist. Free groom's tuxedo. Prom headquarters. Great selection. Oscar de la Rente. One-day service. Rental and retail. Gents formal wear. 2 locations to serve you.
Well, we have got ourselves quite a ball game this evening, folks. Thanks for being with us on your Apprise Sports Network coverage of the high school football game of the week, Northwest Florida. 28-14, Fort Walton Beach. 4 spectacular touchdowns thus far on the part of the Vikings, and 2 pretty spectacular touchdowns thus far on the part of the Tate Aggies. If you haven't been with us from the very beginning, I can honestly tell you, you've missed a bunch. Sterling Riggs getting ready to kick off. We've got 41 seconds remaining in this first half, and I can tell you, folks, anything can happen. It's not a squib kick, but it's not exactly a boomer. And the Aggies will down the ball. That is number 73, an up lineman, Jonathan York, a senior 6'3", 220-pounder, who smothered the ball for the Aggies, who now have 38.3 seconds remaining to see if they can get back in this ball game. I don't want to say 2 touchdowns at this point is an insurmountable margin, but looking at the way Fort Walton Beach is driving up and down the field, it would almost seem that Fort Walton Beach will be scoring at will this evening. The Aggies are almost defenseless against them. Touchdown back in the shotgun, goes to his right, pitches it complete to about the 48-yard line. That is number 34, Kenny Wells. Kenny Wells, who is works on special teams as well, makes the reception on that one. That's good for a first down. .3 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Touchdown takes the ball. This time swings to his left. Guns it over the middle. It is intercepted. That is number 15, Ron Holt, for the Vikings. With 22.1 seconds left in the half, Ron Holt picks it off for Fort Walton Beach. Ron Holt, a senior defensive back, 6 foot tall, 160 pounds. Now what's Joey Rankin going to do here? The ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Maybe he's going to have his young quarterback, Drew Roberts, put it up in the air and see if they can put another score on the board before halftime. It doesn't look, well, maybe he will. Roberts looking, passing over the middle, and this one is picked off. Well, I guess you go to the well once too often, and your bucket comes up dry. That is number 10, Trey Barraclough, a senior for the Aggies, who made the pick. And Trey was pretty much all alone in the center of the field. Right about now, with 12.9 seconds remaining, I think we're probably out of scoring here in the first half. There is a timeout on the field with our score, Fort Walton Beach 28, Tate 14.
You've worked hard for how many years? You deserve your dream home. Different from the rest, custom built just for you with all the things you want. Sanborn Builders is your answer. Since 1970, they've been constructing quality into every home and office they've built.
My wife and I waited 20 years for the right house, and Mike has built our dream house.
You can rely on their education, professionalism, and desire to fulfill your dreams.
I'm tremendously happy with the progress here, and it's hard to imagine how it could be any better.
Call Mike Sanborn at 623-9409.
Sanders Manufactured Housing. It's what you've been waiting for. The big sale. The big sale at Sanders Manufactured Housing in Pensacola for a limited time only. For the month of October, Sanders Manufactured Housing presents Horton Homes' annual Big Sale. Homes with no money down. The lowest interest rates on the Gulf Coast. Factory rebates up to $1,500 can be used for an instant down payment. Only at the big sale at Sanders Manufactured Housing in Pensacola. Only in October. Don't stop till you find the one-of-a-kind on Highway 29. Sanders Manufactured Housing for the big sale.
Back at F is our score. Fort Walton Beach's Vikings, number 10 ranked in 6A, holding on to a 2-touchdown lead. Coming up at halftime, of course, we're going to see the marching bands on the part of these teams. That's only about 12.9 seconds away. Spectacular first half of action. I'm sure we'll have a spectacular halftime show as well. This TJ touchstone passes, goes through the hands of DeWitt Dukes. That's about the first play tonight that DeWitt Dukes has not made for the Aggies. Dukes, the senior, 5'10", 175-pounder. By my account right now, I've got him for 180 yards in the first half. And in fact, the rushing game for Tate right about now is looking to be at about 210 yards for the first 24 minutes of action. 6.8 seconds remaining. Back in the shotgun is Touchstone once again, and we have got motion on the line, I believe. I believe that's going to be a procedure call against the Aggies. Let's see. Yes, it is. It is a procedure call against Tate. 6.1 remaining in the first half. Wouldn't you know it, folks, the week I don't have a color commentator, we got all this going on. 6 touchdowns in the first half. Count them. 6. 4 by the Vikings and 2 by Fort Walton. We've got another timeout on the field with 6.1 seconds remaining in the half, and our score is Fort Walton Beach 28, Tate 14.
This winter's going to be a cold one, but Elliott's Heating and Air Conditioning can keep you toasty warm this winter with a new high-quality Rheem central heating system. Elliott's is your local Rheem dealer and has the knowledge and experience to do the job right. Financing is even available. If your existing unit is not heating like it should, call 968-1216 for a pre-winter checkup and let Elliott service your system and get it heating like it should. Let Mr. Elliott keep your system warm on the cold nights ahead. Call 968-1216.
Yep, they are hooking them horns out in Viking territory tonight. Fort Walton Beach is up by 2 scores over Tate, but Tate has got something up their sleeve because they've called a timeout with 6.1 seconds remaining, and I think Tate is hungry for more, and well, they should be. They do not want to go into the locker room down 2 scores to this Vikings team. Touchstone in the backfield with Kendall McNeil. His Touchstone under pressure from Cornelius Rose, runs to his left, throws it downfield, and it is incomplete, off off the fingers of number 80 tight end Jeff Pierce as time runs out in the first half. But what a first half we have had, and the fans here at Etheridge Memorial Stadium are standing on their feet cheering their Vikings for a brilliant first half performance. We're at halftime. Our score is Fort Walton Beach 28, Tate 14.
Babcock Chiropractic Clinic offers the benefit of 31 years of practice experience in chiropractic health care, and Dr. Babcock is a graduate of Parker College. They provide good old-fashioned chiropractic care, and their office includes physical therapy procedures when necessary. You'll get care for auto accident injuries, sports injuries, and common household injuries. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic, 2150 East 9 Mile Road, 474-9970. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic.
Serving Pensacola, Mobile, this is WHBR TV.
Tom, congratulations on 25 great years of Focus Window Company here in Pensacola and the surrounding area. Y'all have done a super job.
Ed, thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I want you to know we couldn't have done it without customers like you. Customers that appreciated the dedicated folks at Fokers. They do a great job, and Sparky and I consider ourselves very lucky. Please help us celebrate our 25th anniversary. Give us a call during our anniversary sale and save 25%. Call now. Start saving now. Call the folks at Fokers.
We are about to begin play in the third quarter. You see our score, Fort Walton Beach 28, Tate 14. We're at Etheridge Memorial Stadium here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Thanks for being with us on your Northwest Florida high school football game of the week. And boy, did we have a first half. Let me throw some numbers out at you. In the first half, total yardage, Fort Walton Beach 272 yards. That came on 154 rushing yards and 118 passing yards. Tate, no slouch, 222 yards. We're about to begin play here in the second half. Tate kicking off to the Vikings, and the second half is underway. The ball will be kicked out of bounds, and the Fort Walton Beach Vikings will begin their third quarter possession, the first possession of the second half at the 35-yard line. Quite a first half for many individuals. Drew Roberts, 7 of 9 passing. Corey Scott, 2 touchdown catches, 6 caught balls overall. Oron Dixon, couple of touchdown runs. DeWitt Dukes for the Aggies, 180 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Quite an offensive show in the first half. Let's see what Drew Roberts could do here in the second half. Checks off, that is Dixon in motion. Hands off up the middle, and looks like we have a fumble on the play, and we do have a fumble on the play. Tony Lovelace coughed up the football at the 35-yard line. It is Aggies ball. Momentum, thy name is Tate to begin the second half. That's the kind of break that Keith Leonard is probably hoping to get more of tonight, because it seems every time Fort Walton has had the ball, there's been no break for Tate. But right now we'll see what TJ Touchstone can do for the Aggies as they begin this drive at the Vikings 35. Fakes the handoff pitches to DeWitt Dukes, who picked up 180 yards in that first half on the ground. He is stuffed for no gain. DeWitt Dukes, a remarkable performance. He merely on that 180-yard pickup in the second half scored twice, touchdown runs of 66 and 68 yards. This is a young man we will be hearing a great deal of in the future. at the next level. According to his coach, many colleges are interested in DeWitt Dukes, and this is a young man who has proven his worth tonight for the Aggies. It's a 2nd and 10, no gain, 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Aggies seeing if they could take advantage of the turnover. Pitch back goes to Kendall McNeil. That is a loss, well, probably a loss of maybe about a half a yard for McNeil. McNeil in the first half picked up only 7 yards on 4 carries by my calculations. And he was stopped for no gain, so it'll be a 3rd and 10. Thus far, the Fort Walton Beach defense has come to play here in the third quarter. Touchstone handing off to Dukes on the right side. Dukes cuts that corner, goes for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards. He is down at about the 27 or 28. This will be very, very close. We're going to see where the spot is, and it will be a 4th down. It's a 4th and 2. That was an 8-yard gain. They gave him 8 yards on that carry. The Fort Walton Beach faithful are on their feet. The handoff goes up the middle, and that will be a 1st down for the Aggies. And there's an Aggies fan who's made the journey from Gonzales, Florida. Gonzales is north on Highway 29. Made the trip out there the other day, as you may have seen in the pregame. Let's see, we're going to have an official's measurement on that. We've got a player down on the field. I cannot see who that player is. That looks to be number 56 for the Aggies, I believe. Catch that number. Looks like he is holding his left knee. We're going to take a pause right here with an injury timeout. Our score is 28-14 Fort Walton Beach with 9:51 remaining in the third.
That's right, Pensacola. We're here, and we're no rookies. Save thousands of dollars away for our home center, Pensacola. The largest private-owned dealers in America are now at your back door. Due to our huge volume savings, you can save thousands on your new home. Don't let a salesman tell you you're getting a good deal. Get the facts in writing at Wayne Fryer's new model home center, Pensacola. That's right, we're here, and we're here to stay. Wayne Fryer Home Center, Highway 29 North, Pensacola.
I'm Dean Githens for Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, where leather sofas start at only $600 and go all the way to $3,000. Leather sectionals start at only $1,200 up to $10,000, and you can have it custom built just the way you want it, and we'll have it in your home in 2 to 3 weeks. Or buy from our huge inventory, like this leather rocker recliner in your choice of 6 colors for only $459.95. Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, Mobile Highway, Cordova Mall, and Fort Walton Beach.
That was Tanner Ward, the injured player. He was taken off the field, walked off on his own steam. And here's the pitch back to DeWitt Dukes. Dukes for 5, looks to get about 6 yards down to, this should be about the 18 or 19 yard line. His knee may have touched down at about the 20. We'll see exactly where they spot it. They're spotting it at the 19, so that's going to be a 5-yard gain for Dukes. That gives him now 12 yards here in the second half, bringing him up to 192 yards by my calculation rushing here in this ball game for the Tate Aggies. Quite a performance by the senior running back for Tate. There's Touchstone pitching it back to DeWitt Dukes. You see how hard it is to bring that young man down. That was, line of scrimmage was the 19, and they're going to spot that ball on about the 13, and we're calling for a measurement here, so they're going to give him another 6 yards on that carry. 198 yards by my calculation for DeWitt Dukes. Dukes closing in on that magical 200-yard figure, and who knows how high that young man could go tonight. And And it looks as if it is. Yes, it is a first down for the Aggies. And right about now, the Aggies are on a drive courtesy of Fort Walton Beach. Fort Walton Beach, you may recall, turned the ball over. Tony Lovelace fumbled the ball on his 35-yard line. Cannot say anything bad about Tony Lovelace tonight. All the young man has done thus far is pick up about 100 yards on the evening. And he certainly helped to set up 3 of the Fort Walton Beach touchdowns. Probably, when you think about it, all 4 he helped to set up. TJ Touchstone at quarterback. Hands off on the left side. That is Kendall McNeil. McNeil going off for looks to be about 3 yards on that carry. We knew this would be a good game, folks, but nobody really knew how good this Tate Ball Club was. Coming into this game, 5 consecutive victories. Some folks felt they had really not been tested, but this evening they have shown a powerful ground game. And there's a rush. That is, once again, DeWitt Dukes, number 2. Looks like he was stopped for probably about a yard on that, I'm going to guess. That's going to make it a 3rd down. 3rd down and about 6. They did give him 1 yard on the carry. Very confident young team, this Tate team. And again, this is a ball club coming in off of a 3-7 season. And there's Touchstone pitching the ball to the right side to Dukes. Looks to stiff arm his tackler, Al Jackson, but Jackson would have nothing of it. And a haul down in the background, in the backfield, in the background, I guess, as well, is number 2, DeWitt Dukes, who is dropped for a 2-yard loss. That will make it 4th down and 8 with 7 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. And this is going to be an interesting call on the part of Keith Leonard, first-year coach for the Tate Aggies. And you may not be aware, Keith Leonard just picked up this job in July when previous coach Sam McCorkle took a job in Mississippi. They're going to go for it on 4th and 8. And this Touchstone back to pass to his left side up in the end zone. Touchdown Aggies! That is number 12, Tim Merritt, on a 4th and 8. Tim Merritt catches the touchdown pass. Unbelievable. 6:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tim Merritt, 12-yard touchdown pass from TJ Touchstone. We've got a timeout on the field right now being called by the Tate Aggies. I don't know why they're calling the timeout, but they are. We're going to keep it right here. I want to tell you folks that we've had inquiries as to why we don't show instant replays. And I can tell you that in Northwest Florida high school football, instant replays are illegal because theoretically it could conceivably give a team an edge. And you will never see an instant replay on any broadcast of any high school football game in North Florida. As much as we would love to show you that touchdown pass once again, we cannot show it to you. Replays just can't happen on our broadcasts. Not because we can't do them, but because that's the law and we're sticking to it. Here is Mark Baker on for the extra point. I guess there was a little confusion on the part of the Aggies. They did not want to be penalized. The ball is spotted, placed down, kick. It is up, and Baker's kick is good. And with 6.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, we are once again 28-21, Fort Walton Beach leading by only a touchdown over Tate.
Restaurant in Gulf Breeze has been serving the public traditional Italian food since the early 40s, secrets that have been passed down for 3 generations. Savory, authentic Italian cuisine made from scratch in our homey atmosphere. You can bring your own bottle to top off a delicious meal in a unique setting. Lillo's is extending you a personal invitation from their family to yours.
Come to us at Lillo's.
Lillo's is located in the Del Champ Center in Gulf Breeze at 934-5456.
This winter's going to be a cold one, but Elliott's Heating and Air Conditioning can keep you toasty warm this winter with a new high-quality Rheem central heating system. Elliott's is your local Rheem dealer and has the knowledge and experience to do the job right. Financing is even available. If your existing unit is not heating like it should, call 968-1216 for a pre-winter checkup and let Elliott service your system and get it heating like it should. Let Mr. Elliott keep your system warm on the cold nights ahead. Call 968-1216.
Game, folks. 28-21, the Vikings leading the Aggies here in the third quarter. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Art Goodman along with you on the Northwest Florida High School football game of the week. There is your kickoff. It is taken down around the goal line. That is number 3, Fabian Porter, with a tremendous return to looks to be about the 37-yard line. Fabian Porter, a wide receiver who goes 5'10", 165 pounds. He is a sophomore. We know Coach Joey Rankin is very pleased to have that young man on his team, and we're certain that we'll be seeing that young man for a couple of years to come, making some very big plays. It is now back in the court, as it were, of junior quarterback Drew Roberts for the Vikings. Roberts hands off out of the backfield. Tony Lovelace, 35 to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line for Lovelace, who now goes over the 100-yard mark for the evening. Lovelace is probably trying to compensate for that fumble on that last drive, which led to the touchdown that brought the Tate Aggies back to within 1 touchdown in the ball game. And young Mr. Lovelace probably feels somewhat responsible for that one. And he wants to get it back for his team. And he certainly has the talent to do so. Looking at some of the hard-working young cheerleaders. And we do have our Northwest Florida water break, so it is once again time to tell you that the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is a proud sponsor of high school football, and they are moving soon to their brand new 12,000 square foot location at 1149 Gulf Breeze Parkway in the Food World Shopping Center. The new Gulf Breeze Fitness and Aerobics Center will feature our area's most innovative aerobics program with the only professional suspended wooden aerobics floor in Northwest Florida. What does that mean? It means your aerobic workouts will be better than ever. This wooden floor is great for movement and healthier for your ankles, shins, and knees. Call Mike or Tony at 934-0335 as soon as you can. Find out how you can take advantage of their spectacular pre-move rates. In fact, you can enroll in the new Gulf Breeze Aerobics and Fitness Center for as little as $19 a month for singles. Call 934-0335 as soon as you can. Back to the action. Drew Roberts pitches back, fumbled by Lovelace in the backfield again, and that will go for a loss of about 6 yards. And that one, of course, will be not exactly the kind of play that Coach Rankin wanted to see at this particular juncture for his team. That's going to make it a 3rd and about 11. It was a 3rd and 5, and I can't imagine that Fort Walton Beach right now would not be a little concerned about giving up the football to this Tate Aggies team, which has not only got a head of steam, but certainly has the ability. They have got players out on the field who are just lighting it up tonight. There's Roberts passing over to the right side, and who else but Corey Scott, number 26. That is the 7th catch on the evening tonight for Corey Scott. Corey Scott is a remarkable receiver. They're going to give him the first down on that one. That's a pickup of about 14 yards. And with 4:55 remaining in this third quarter, the drive is alive for the Vikings. And the handoff out of the backfield, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage is number 1, Tony Lovelace. Give him no gain on that one. Lovelace still over 100 yards for the evening. Tony Lovelace still proving himself to be, in spite of that carry, one of Northwest Florida's premier running backs. He, of course, is a senior. Goes 5'8", 185 pounds. He is second down and about 9. They gave him a yard on that one. Here's Roberts faking up the middle, and on a quarterback keeper looks to pick up about 4 yards on that carry. Roberts is a solid option quarterback, and when he does fake, he has been known to fake out yours truly, as well as our camera people. He's a very talented quarterback, and he's got a lot of confidence out there. This is Drew Roberts' first year as varsity quarterback. He was the starter for the junior varsity last year, and he has yet to lose as the varsity starter. Roberts looked like a broken play, and he is tripped up. That is number 55 for the Tate Aggies, Matt Ruckman, a 5'11", 215-pound senior, and Ruckman just got his hand in on Drew Roberts' leg, and it will be 4th down, and this is a punting situation for the Vikings. Drew Roberts is back to punt. Roberts punting from about his own 40, and a fair catch is called for. That is Kenny Wells once again. Made the fair catch at the 8-yard line. So that was about a 46-yard punt by Drew Roberts. I don't know if making the fair catch was the advisable thing to do on the part of Kenny Wells, because of the fact that inside the 10-yard line, you might want to just take your chances letting the ball bounce. The football does take funny bounces, but sometimes it can take that forward bounce and get you an additional 10 or 12 yards. You can start your drive at the 20. And there's DeWitt Dukes out of the backfield. Stiff arms his tackler, Al Jackson, and look at him. They cannot bring that guy down. He is up to the 20-yard line. DeWitt Dukes. How many times have we mentioned that young man's name tonight? Thus far in the second half, he has picked up an additional 21 yards. We have got him right now. We've got him at about 201 yards for the evening, and that's an unofficial total. He has been absolutely superb on the course, over the course of this ball game tonight. Touchdown, pitching back once again. DeWitt Dukes evades one tackler, evades two, evades three, and is finally pulled down out of bounds by number 33. That is John Peters, a linebacker. But once again, that young man got up ahead of steam, picked himself up another 12 yards. 33 yards in the second half right now for DeWitt Dukes. And I could honestly say I have yet to see a running back in Northwest Florida this season with that level of talent. And we are also including Tony Lovelace, who's playing on the opposite side. There were flags all over the place. It looked like there was some motion on the part of the Aggies, and yes, it was. It looked like 2 or 3 guys on the line took a move when they were not supposed to take a move. That is the 5th penalty of the night for the Aggies. This is a young team, but I can honestly say that Coach Keith Leonard has got himself a very disciplined and hungry bunch of athletes, and you cannot fault them for an occasional penalty. Certainly not considering what this team is capable, certainly considering what this team is capable of doing on offense. To have an occasional procedure call go against you, well, you can write that off almost to a little bit over enthusiasm. Touchdown at quarterback. In motion goes Wells. Touchdown pitches back to Dukes. Dukes picks up another 4 yards on the carry. That's going to make it a 2nd down, and he might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage on that. Oh no, it's Macarena time, folks. It's a Macarena alert. I thought we were finished with that last year. I don't want to say they're behind the times in Fort Walton Beach, but pick another tune, okay? This is the year of the Spice Girls, I would imagine. There's the handoff up the middle, and look at that young man bull up to the 42 or 43-yard line. That is Kendall McNeil. The ball will be spotted on the 42. McNeil picked himself up 12 yards on that carry. That's another first down for the Aggies. And with the score 28-21 and a minute 40 remaining here in the third quarter, we are setting ourselves up for quite a fourth quarter. Keep in mind, folks, this is a District 6A game between two unbeaten teams, both coming in at 5-0. Touchdown, hands off up the middle. That's Kendall McNeil once again. McNeil looks to have picked up maybe 3 yards on that carry. McNeil on the night, I've got him down now for about 19 yards. McNeil represents a nice decoy out of the backfield because obviously your focus has got to be on number 2, DeWitt Dukes. But McNeil has got himself some real talent, and it's a nice change of pace for Coach Keith Leonard to be able to turn to that young man. Touchdown over the middle, and the ball is incomplete, but there is a flag on the play, and they're going to call John Peters, number 33, for interference. I believe he got his hand on the intended receiver who was... I did not see who the intended receiver was on that play, but it was definitely a foul called on Peters, and that will be a 10-yard interference call, which keeps the Aggies' drive alive. It's going to take them into Vikings territory. The ball will be spotted at the Vikings 40-yard line. It is a 1st and 10 with 42.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Aggies are very impressive tonight, and young quarterback T.J. Touchstone is very impressive under fire. Touchdown, there's looked like a broken play at the line, and the ball was kept by Touchstone, who looked as if he picked up maybe 2 yards on that carry. Let's see what they give him officially on that. Yes, they did give T.J. 2 yards on that carry. And when I say impressive, cool under fire, I seriously mean it. On the last drive on the part of the Aggies, Touchstone had a 4th and 8 and rifled a touchdown pass to bring his team to within a touchdown. Pitching back to Dukes, the 40, 35. Dukes rolled out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Now, that's going to make it a 3rd down and probably about 4 yards. And we'll pick that one up in the start of the fourth quarter, because right now we are out of third quarter. At the end of 3, our score, Fort Walton Beach 28, Tate 21.
Your Santa Rosa County Connection, Milton Newspapers, Inc., publishers of Santa Rosa Free Press, South Santa Rosa Sun, Santa Rosa Press Gazette. Whatever your advertising needs are in Santa Rosa County, north or south, we can connect you. In Milton and Pace, call 623-2120 and ask for Jim Martin, Jimmy Moore, Teresa Cahoon.
In South Santa Rosa County, for the Santa Rosa Sun, call Rhonda Bernal at 934-0027.
Buy 1, 2, or 3. Get connected today. 3 days, 3 newspapers, 1 billing system.
Winkles Pharmacy in Pace is your hometown pharmacy with friendly folks you can trust. When you need expert advice from a professional pharmacist, talk to David Winkles and his experienced staff about all your healthcare needs. Special orders are no problem at Winkles, and they offer free local delivery and a drive-up window. You want your pharmacist to be knowledgeable and be able to give you valuable advice you can depend on. That's Winkles Pharmacy. Workers' comp and third-party plans are also welcome. Winkles Pharmacy, Highway 90 in Pace.
I'm Dean Githens for Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, where leather sofas start at only $600 and go all the way to $3,000. Leather sectionals start at only $1,200 up to $10,000, and you can have it custom built just the way you want it, and we'll have it in your home in 2 to 3 weeks. Or buy from our huge inventory, like this leather rocker recliner in your choice of 6 colors for only $459.95. Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, Mobile Highway, Cordova Mall, and Fort Walton Beach.
This winter's going to be a cold one, but Elliott's Heating and Air Conditioning can keep you toasty warm this winter with a new high-quality Rheem central heating system. Elliott's is your local Rheem dealer and has the knowledge and experience to do the job right. Financing is even available. If your existing unit is not heating like it should, call 968-1216 for a free winter checkup and let Elliott service your system and get it heating like it should. Let Mr. Elliott keep your system warm on the cold nights ahead. Call 968-1216.
28-21 is our score. Fort Walton Beach in the lead. We are at Etheridge Memorial Stadium in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. And this one is coming through as advertised. Not only the game of the week, but a game of the week between two unbeatens in District 6A, two statewide ranked teams. Fort Walton Beach comes into this game ranked number 10 in state, while Tate comes in ranked number 11. Neither of these ball clubs has anything to be ashamed of this evening. This one we felt might be a battle. It's turned out to be a war, and both coaches right about now have got 12 minutes to figure out how to come out on top. TJ Touchstone is the field general for the Aggies right now. We begin at the 35-yard line. It's a 3rd and 3. The handoff goes up the middle, and that, of course, will be a first down. And what can we say about this Tate running game? This is a remarkable ground attack that this team is putting together against a Fort Walton defense that has been hard to crack most of this season. And this Fort Walton Beach team, with their own rushing game, which is very hard to overshadow, is probably seeing their rushing game overshadowed by DeWitt, Dukes, and company. Kendall in the backfield with Dukes behind him. And there's the pitch. There's the DeWitt Dukes. DeWitt down to about the 22-yard line. And we are looking at pickup for DeWitt Dukes. Look to be maybe about 4 or 5 yards on that carry. Let's see what they give him. It's going to be a 2nd down. 11 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. And I do want to remind you that in Northwest Florida, if the game ends in a tie, there is overtime. There's a pitch back, and it goes, oh, he is smothered. That is Al Jackson in on the tackle. That is number 27, who we referenced earlier in the ball game, Bryant Thomas. Bryant Thomas, who in that first half picked up about 25 yards for the Tate Aggies, 26 to be exact. Didn't fool anybody on that one, and we have now got a 3rd down and 8 for Tate as they are looking at the Fort Walton goal line as being 21.5 yards away, and that's as far away as a tie game for Tate, and this we can consider a critical play. Touchdown back to pass, and he is hogtied, dragged down by number 33. That is John Peters, the senior linebacker, 5'11", 188-pound linebacker, and that was a big play. I cannot impress to you enough how big that play was. It's going to make it a 4th and 16. The clock is winding down. We're down to 9.5 minutes. And right now, if you are Coach Keith Leonard, you got to go for it. And that's precisely what they're doing. They're going back into the shotgun. The Fort Walton faithful are on their feet, cheering on their defense. Touchdown back to pass. He overthrows his receiver, and it's picked off. That is number 5, Anthony McKinney, a defensive back. Actually, Anthony probably should have just let that one fall because they would have had a little bit more forward yardage on that. But Anthony probably didn't feel too poorly about padding his statistics just a bit. So we'll give young Mr. McKinney the INT on that one. He's a sophomore. He goes at running back and defensive back, 5'11" and 185 pounds. So that drive is stopped, and effectively Fort Walton Beach is holding on to their lead right now. We've got a stoppage of play. There's an ambulance that has come onto the field, onto the track, and I don't know if our camera could get a picture of what's happening, but apparently some problem is occurring in the stands, and we are going to have an official timeout. And while we do have this official timeout, we're going to take a pause here with 9:13 remaining in the fourth quarter. Our score is Fort Walton Beach 28 and Tate 21.
Hudson House Restaurant and Grill. Old-fashioned excellence brought to you from the Hudson family traditions in a unique style restaurant grill with large portions and good value. A restaurant with homemade sauces and quality ingredients. A place with a lively, fun atmosphere where children are always welcome. A place where the customer is assured of warm and friendly service from hometown folks, Rodney and Nan Hudson. Whether it be steak, chicken, pasta, ribs, or their incredible dessert, it's Hudson House.
Serving Pensacola, Mobile, this is WHBR TV.
We are back to the action, and there is number 7 in the background, in the backfield, Oron Dixon. I'm going to have to stop saying background, won't I? Oron Dixon is grabbed, lassoed, hogtied, thrown to the ground for a loss. And there is a gathering of folks on the track. The emergency medical technicians carried a stretcher up into the stands, and we do not yet see anyone being transported, but apparently either someone has fallen ill in the stands or someone has been injured. We will try to pass on the information to you, but I think it's going to be very difficult to get specifics. There is Roberts back to pass, and he completes the pass to Tony Lovelace at about the 14-yard line. That's going to be way short of the first down. It was a 2nd and 18. And it looks as if they're going to be, well, first down yardage will be at about the 27-yard line, so they're still going to be about 12 or 13 yards short. It's a 3rd now and 11 for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. 7 minutes 47 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Roberts back to pass, goes to his right side, and the pass is incomplete. It was actually overthrown to number 3 Fabian Porter, or if you want to go to the other end, it was underthrown to Mark Covillion, number 80. Both receivers were out in that particular zone. The ball fell between those two receivers. That's going to make it a 4th and 11. So the Aggies hold on that drive, and the Aggies should get some pretty decent field position out of this, as Drew Roberts will be punting from his own goal line. So at the very least, I would anticipate the Aggies will, oh, he's going to fake it. No, he looked as if he was going to fake it, but he kicked the ball, and a fair catch is signaled for and made at the 43 or 44-yard line. That once again is number 34, Kenny Wells, for the Tate Aggies. Kenny Wells, a very impressive special teams player for the Aggies. They have had him on kickoffs and punts all evening long, and the young man has performed quite nicely. Thank you. The Aggies, with 7:28 remaining in the fourth quarter, take over this possession on the Vikings' 43-yard line. TJ Touchstone at quarterback. He is back in the shotgun, complemented by number 2, number 5, Kendall McNeil, who runs out into the flat, and it looked as if Touchstone was going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage. He did get back to the line. He might have even picked up a half a yard on that one. That's going to make it a second down for the Aggies as we are now inside of 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. We have got a terrific ball game tonight, folks. The score was 28-14 at the half. There's thus far been only one touchdown in the second half. That on the part of the Aggies, that great 8-yard touchdown pass on fourth down. And there is a run out to the left side. And that, of course, is DeWitt Dukes again. And I say, of course, because in this ball game, you look at a running back who they are having a tough time dragging down, and that undoubtedly will be DeWitt Dukes, who now has picked up 43 yards in the second half. And I've got that young man for 223 yards on the evening. I had him for 180 in the first half. And we've got flags all over the place. Lots of dirty laundry out there, folks. The officials talking it over, and it looks like it's going to go against the Vikings, I believe. It's a dead ball foul against the Vikings. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is a very tough mistake to have made, because that was a 3rd and 3. That is going to give the Aggies a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of the Vikings. This drive began on the 43-yard line, and thus far, Fort Walton Beach is helping the Aggies move the football closer to the Vikings end zone. And once again, we have flags on the play. And I believe there was more motion on the part of the Vikings. Once again, another dead ball foul, another offside. Joey Rankin's troops are shooting themselves in the foot on this one, folks. This is not the kind of discipline that you would expect this Fort Walton Beach team to be lacking at this stage of a critical ball game, a critical drive at a critical juncture. TJ, touchdown, hands off up the middle, and bulling his way is number 5, Kendall McNeil. That number 5, very strong young man. McNeil goes 5'11", 185. He's listed as a halfback. The young man could very easily be a fullback and can certainly carry bodies along with him. Kendall McNeil has now picked up in the second half about 18 yards. I've got him down for about 25 on the evening, but they're hard-fought yards, and he's a tough young athlete. There's the pitch back to DeWitt Dukes. 5 yards. He is, look at the way he is dragging Al Jackson. It was a battle of the deuces. Number 2, DeWitt Dukes versus number 2, Al Jackson. And DeWitt got the best of Al Jackson. He dragged that young man about 2 or 3 yards. And it was a pickup of probably about, I guess they could give him 4 yards on that carry. That gives DeWitt Dukes 47 yards overall in the second half. And there's a timeout on the field. This is the North Florida water break timeout. So once again, it is our time to remind you that the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is a proud sponsor of high school football, and the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is moving soon to a brand new 12,000 square foot location at 1149 Gulf Breeze Parkway in the Food World Shopping Center in Gulf Breeze. Now, I've been telling you all game long about how spectacular this place is going to be. So whether you're into aerobics, circuit weight training, or cardiovascular workouts, you've just got to check out the deal the Gulf Breeze Fitness Center is offering in advance of their move. Call 934-0335 as soon as possible. Enroll now for as little as $19 a month for a single person, or as little as $15 a month each for couples. Now, I work out at the Gulf Breeze Fitness location at 223 Gulf Breeze Parkway. It's a terrific club. You got to check them out. Back to the action. TJ faking the handoff, goes to his left, and is swarmed formed in the center of the field. That was looked to be number 64 in on the tackle for, excuse me, I guess that was number 55 in on the tackle, John Newby. That was Touchstone, picking up a couple of yards on that. That's going to make it a 3rd and 4, actually probably a long 4. This is a critical point of the game for Tate. 5:30 remaining. Pitch off goes to DeWitt Dukes, who is brought down at about the 7-yard line. That should be a first down, and it is a first down for the Tate Aggies. 1st and goal to go for Tate High School from Gonzales, Florida, looking to tie this ball game up against the homestanding Fort Walton Beach Vikings, who maybe are beginning to look a little weary on defense. You're seeing a couple of their linemen standing with hands on hips, and that usually indicates linemen are tired. Touchstone pitching back to DeWitt, leaped over one tackler, dives in, touchdown Aggies! DeWitt Dukes takes the ball, dives the last 2 yards. We have got ourselves a 1-point ball game, folks. DeWitt Dukes scoring his 3rd touchdown of the night. The extra point to tie it all up. This is Mark Baker. This is critical, folks. 5:08 remaining. The ball is spotted. Placed down. The kick is up. The kick is good, and we are brand new with 5:08 remaining in the 4th quarter. Look at it, folks. Tate 28, Fort Walton Beach 28. There is your kickoff to the Vikings, and the ball will be downed by number 84 for Fort Walton Beach. That is Waylon Cotton. Waylon is a junior, tight end defensive lineman, 6 feet tall, 184 pounds. And the drive will start for Fort Walton at their own 20-yard line. 5:08 remaining in the 4th quarter of play. And keep in mind, Northwest Florida, when you end in a tie, it ain't over. You go to OT. Now it's up to young quarterback Drew Roberts, who's not been able to do very much in the second half. There's the handoff, goes right up the middle. That is, I believe that is Tony Lovelace. Got to give credit where credit is due. Keith Leonard, head coach of the Tate Aggies, made a series of remarkable but very subtle defensive adjustments at halftime and has neutralized the Fort Walton Beach offense. It is truly amazing. It is a sight to see. There's a fake handoff, and the pitch goes to the left side. That is number 7, Oron Dixon. On the 2nd and 8, Dixon gets over the 30-yard line. It is a first down with 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Now, Dixon picked himself up 8 yards on that carry. The first down for the Vikings will be a crucial first down, because to keep this drive alive, conceivably, they could eat up the clock and go in for what would be the winning score. There's Roberts faking, pitching back to his left side once again to Dixon, who sidestepped a tackler. A great move on the part of Dixon, and he picked up, looked to be about 8 yards on that one. Drew Roberts is such an impressive quarterback. That young man is so cool under fire. But right about now, I would imagine he is feeling the heat, because having had at one point a 2-touchdown lead, 28-14 at the half, and watching the Tate Aggies come back into the ball game and seeing the Tate defense be as effective as it's been, well, this young man has got to be concerned right now. And there's the handoff. It goes up the middle, and it looks to be maybe a couple of yards on the carry. We'll see if that is going to be first down territory. That was Lovelace on the carry. Lovelace only has 9 yards in the second half, and once again, I don't really feel compelled to remind you because the young man has not had a great game, but Tony Lovelace made a critical error, fumbling the ball at the Fort Walton Beach 35-yard line following the opening kickoff, and that led to a Tate touchdown, which brought them to within a touchdown at 28-21. So as good a first half as Tony Lovelace had, and that is a first down just by the nose of the football. So as good a first down as Tony Lovelace had, picking up close to 100 yards in that first half, 99 yards by my count, he really made a crucial error to begin the second half, which helped Tate to get back into the ball game. And right about now, Tate has been dominating on the offensive side of the field for this the bulk of the second half. And now it is up to the Tate defense with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining to hold tight and to keep the Vikings from keeping this drive alive. Roberts handing off out of the backfield once again. That is Tony Lovelace. Lovelace looks to pick up about 4 yards on that carry, and you see the way he cradled the ball on that one. The last thing he wants to do is fumble. Certainly not in this situation and not in Viking territory, because TJ Touchstone and the Aggies have shown how effectively they can move the ball this evening. Got a great crowd here tonight. Many of the crowd are on their feet right now watching very closely at 2nd and 6, this Vikings drive. There's a handoff out of the backfield, and Oron Dixon is smothered on the play. The Aggies are absolutely tenacious. They're hungry. They're coming in 5-0. This is the first time this team has had this kind of a start in well over 15 years. And this is a first-year coach, folks. This is a man who got this job in July when his predecessor and former mentor, Sam McCorkle, took a job at Mississippi Delta Valley Community College, and Keith Leonard was a baseball coach. Here's Roberts out to pass on the right side. Just overthrows Corey Scott at midfield. That is going to make it a 4th down and 7. And with 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, the Aggies will get the ball back with an opportunity to steal this one from the Vikings. I can honestly say that was Drew Roberts' worst pass of the evening. He overthrew Corey Scott by maybe 3 yards. And there's Roberts punting, and it's a short kick as well, and it takes an Aggies bounce. It's down on the 46-yard line of Tate with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining, folks. Don't go anywhere. No bathroom breaks. No sneaking off to the refrigerator. We have got ourselves quite a ball game, and we may be looking for the first time this season for our high school football game of the week at an overtime game. It's up to the Fort Walton Beach defense. We're tied at 28. TJ Touchstone pitches back to DeWitt Dukes. 5, 6, 7, 8 yards and out of bounds. I don't know where they're going to call him out of bounds. It looks like Peters, number 33, drove him out of bounds. John Peters, the senior linebacker for Fort Walton Beach, who's been very impressive. Every time we've seen him, there's a concerned look on the face of a Fort Walton Beach fan. There's a young man who doesn't seem to care very much about anything except having a good time, which is what Friday night high school football is all about anyway, isn't it? Yeah, he's rooting. He's rooting for the Vikings. Okay, back to the ball game. 2 minutes exactly remaining. 5 yards for Dukes on that one. Dukes again with the ball, looks to pick up maybe 3 yards, and he is into Viking territory. That's going to be 62 yards on the second half by my count for DeWitt Dukes, which would put him very close to 250 yards for this ball game. Art Goodman along with you. We are inside of a minute and a half now. The Tate Aggies looking to spoil Fort Walton Beach's home game. Both teams driving to go to 6-0. Touchstone, back to pass, over the middle, almost intercepted. A tremendous play. That was number 15, Ron Holt, who made an interception earlier. The 6-foot-tall, 160-pound senior defensive back made a tremendous play, and that's going to make it 4th and 3 with 1:17 remaining. And it looks as if, yes, I guess that Keith Leonard has got to punt the ball right about now. This could be dangerous field territory if you don't punt the ball, if you don't get that first down. It's 4th and 3. Watch out for a fake. I think with this kind of a ball club, almost anything is possible. Back to punt is Eric Smallwood, and he kicks the ball, and it is going to be taking an Aggies bounce, and the ball will be downed just about the 11-yard line. So Drew Roberts and company have 1 minute and 5 seconds to march the ball 89 yards, or at the very least into Sterling Riggs' field goal territory, to claim their 6th victory of the year. But the Aggies defense thus far has been up to the task in the second half. And what can we say about Coach Keith Leonard's coaching abilities? He has shown us tonight that this Aggies team is for real. We did not know what to expect coming in, but here they are, tooth and nail. Number 10 against number 11 is Drew Roberts, handing off to Oron Dixon, moving to the left, moving inside. He fumbled the ball. No, but the official said the ground caused the fumble. Interesting move there on the part of Dixon. He extended to pick up what would have been an extra half yard, which technically in that situation is meaningless, but it threatened that the ball would potentially pop out of his hands. I have no idea why that young man would have executed that particular maneuver in that situation. It's a 2nd and 4. At the very best, it would have been a 2nd and 3. There's Roberts back to pass, and that should be an interference call. I would call that one against Corey Scott. It looked as if he bumped his man out of the way, but there's no flag down on the field. And I guess the Fort Walton Beach Vikings caught a break on that one, because Corey Scott looked to me as if he extended his hand and pushed his defender out of the way. And now with 30.5 seconds remaining, it's a 3rd and 4. And Drew Roberts, if he does not lead his team to first down yardage, will be forced to punt the ball from right about his goal line, and ultimately could give the Aggies field position with maybe 15 or 18 seconds remaining. Here's Roberts back to pass, short drop, now scrambles to his right, scrambling, looks as if, and he does have the first down, and he is down at about the 28-yard line, did not get out of bounds. 18, 17, 16, the clock is winding down. We're down to 14, 13.9 seconds. The clock is stopped. Timeout on the field. Our score is tied, 28-28, Fort Walton Beach and Tate, and right about now, we are staring overtime right in the face. We're going to keep it right here as both coaches execute what is their last-minute strategy, or last-second strategy here. 13 seconds remaining. The Vikings have the ball on their own 29-yard line, and Coach Rankin right about now has got to be thinking that the only safe, anything foolish at this point, because obviously there would be enough time, say if there was a fumble or an interception, for Tate to turn around and score some points. And with, say, a long pass, there's always the possibility of a completion, but how much time is there remaining? Would there be enough time to be able to, say, get down into field goal territory? Right now, I would say we're looking at overtime, folks, for the first time, and if any game was going to go into overtime, I would have thought this one would have. 2 5-0 teams, beautifully played game, star performances all over the field. Here's Roberts taking his 3-step drop, goes up the middle, 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 yards to about the 48-yard line, and there is a timeout called. Drew Roberts with a tremendous rush. Now, Roberts looked as if he hurt that right knee. Let's keep it on Drew Roberts. Let's see exactly what that young man did. That could be a critical blow at this stage of the game, and the young man is in obvious pain. That right knee It looked as if when he was hit, he might have been hit on that right knee, and he is limping over there as he is standing in the huddle. You see him standing just to the left of number 26, Corey Scott. He is blocked out of our picture now as we speak. He is down on that knee. And it's hard to say exactly where he was hit on that play, but it might have been a combination of how he was hit and how he hit the ground. But in any case, it was a 24-yard rush for the quarterback, who now has 28 yards rushing in the second half. Looks like he's going to be okay, but I'm sure that knee will be pretty sore tomorrow. Now, Joey Rankin has got himself a decision to make here. If he can get a pass completed with a couple of seconds remaining, he can go for a field goal to win this one. But it would have to be, I'm guessing, a 25 to 30-yard pass. And that might eat up more than 5.9 seconds of clock, which is all we have left. Just about everyone on the Fort Walton Beach side of the stadium is on their feet. This is going to do it for regulation. Roberts back to pass. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. The pass is completed, but time will run out as Corey Scott catches the ball and is down at the 15-yard line. That was a 38-yard reception for Corey Scott. Only the second completion of the second half for Drew Roberts, and that is 9 receptions on the night that I've got for Corey Scott. And oh, if there were only a few seconds more left on the clock. We are getting ready for overtime, folks. We're going to take a pause right here at the end of 4 quarters. Our score is the Tate Aggies 28, the Fort Walton Beach Vikings 28.
You've worked hard for how many years? You deserve your dream home. Different from the rest, custom built just for you with all the things you want. Sanborn Builders is your answer. Since 1970, they've been constructing quality into every home and office they've built.
My wife and I waited 20 years for the right house, and Mike has built our dream house.
You can rely on their education, professionalism, and desire to fulfill your dreams.
I'm tremendously happy with the progress here, and it's hard to imagine how it could be any better.
Call Mike Sanborn at 623-9409.
I remember little Jenny learning to swim. I also remember showing her parents how to care for their pool. I'm a BioGuard authorized dealer. They told me I made their pool one of life's simple pleasures, like when I helped get their water in shape for Jenny's Sweet 16 party. Look at that water sparkle. I think I'm as proud of it as they are of Jenny. Thanks to BioGuard.
Make your pool a simple pleasure.
Okay, we are ready to get into overtime here. Captain's out on the field. TJ Touchstone for the Tate Aggies, and that is number 50, Darren Reeder, for Fort Walton Beach. There's the coin flip. It is called by the visiting team, and Fort Walton Beach has won the toss, and they will begin on offense in the overtime. Now, we'll set it up for you, but this is very exciting, folks. If you've never seen high school football go into overtime, you are going to really see something pretty exciting here. Both teams have opportunities. Fort Walton Beach, will be kicking off to the Tate Aggies, and you will see precisely why when the first team that has possession, if they score, the other team is given the opportunity to score as well. If the first team does not score and you get the ball on offense in your own possession and you do score, the game is over. If both teams score, you go to yet another overtime session. Now, the ball will be spotted on the 10-yard line. So you have a first and goal at the 10-yard line. The Tate Aggies will begin this overtime first and 10, basically first and goal from the 10-yard line. TJ Touchstone in at quarterback. He pitches back to DeWitt Dukes. DeWitt Dukes up the middle for 5 big yards. Cuts up half the real estate. Now, keep in mind that the Tate Aggies neutralized Fort Walton Beach in the second half. They held the Vikings to a total of 109 yards in the second half, 52 yards on the ground, 57 yards passing. A tremendous series of defensive adjustments from the part of Coach Leonard. And here's TJ Touchstone again, pitches back once again to Dukes. Dukes is stopped down at the 4-yard line. This is going to make it a 3rd and goal, 3rd and 4, 4 points for Tate High School. Now keep in mind, if the Aggies do not score, then Fort Walton Beach has the opportunity to score from 10 yards out. If the Aggies do not score and Fort Walton does, Fort Walton wins the game. If Tate scores, Fort Walton has the opportunity to tie and take it to a second overtime. This Touchstone swarmed in the backfield. In on the tackle, number 28, Cornelius Rose. Also number 55, John Newby, who we have referenced over the course of this broadcast. John Newby is a very solid offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, two-way player, senior, 5 foot 10 inches, started the season at 284 pounds, and he used every last ounce of that 284 plus to stop TJ Touchstone. And it is now 4th down, last chance for the Aggies on this overtime opportunity. Touchstone back to pass over the middle, completes it for the touchdown, complete to number 80, Jeff Pierce. Aggies go into the lead, 34-28. What a redemption for number 80, the tight end, the junior Jeff Pierce, who earlier in this ball game dropped a couple of passes. And right now, the heat is on the Vikings. Very big extra point, Mark Baker. Kick is up. The kick is good. It's Tate roaring from behind to take a 35-28 lead in overtime. We're going to pause to see what Fort Walton Beach can do following these words.
Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29 in Pensacola is the oldest and largest manufacturer of aluminum buildings in town. For over 29 years, Ed has been in the business of quality and service. Aluminum buildings in all sizes and several colors. Utility trailers in all sizes and colors with new 3,500-pound axles. Carports installed from 12 by 20 to 2 big. Setup and delivery, financing available, Visa, MasterCard. Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29, just north of 9 Mile Road. Ed's Aluminum Buildings.
My, what a ball game. We knew this was going to be a great one, and it is. 35-28 is our score. Tate has roared from 2 touchdowns down to now take the lead in overtime, and let's see what the Vikings can do. Drew Roberts hands off on the right side. Oron Dixon gets about 7 or 8 of the necessary yards. Now keep in mind, if Fort Walton scores, we go into a second overtime. Oron Dixon has scored a couple of touchdowns on the night. He scored the Vikings' first touchdown in the first quarter. Vikings' 3rd touchdown of the night in the second quarter on a 15-yard run. So it's second down. The ball is spotted at about the 1-yard line, so they gave him 9 on that carry. Drew Roberts, the junior quarterback, tries to sneak it over. Does he get in? Yes, he does! Drew Roberts brings the Vikings to within 1. Folks, this is truly unbelievable. It's 35-34. It all comes down to the foot of Sterling Riggs. If Riggs kicks the extra point, we go to a second overtime. Ball is spotted, kicked, it's up, it's good! And we move right on. 35-35 is our score. We're going to double overtime. Fort Walton Beach versus Tate, 35 all.
At Jerry's Tire and Wheel Center in Milton, you'll find low prices every day on quality tires, sporty wheels, and service second to none. Complete brake work, four-wheel computer alignment, shocks and oil change, all the things your car needs. Jerry's Tire and Wheel offers a road hazard guarantee on passenger tires from bead to bead, and the best equipment and best trained men in the area. Just south of King Middle School on Stewart Street in Milton, Jerry's Tire and Wheel, where they really care about your car. Quality tires with a supermarket price.
We have got ourselves, folks, not only the game of the week, this could well be the game of the year. 35-35 is our score, and I am not going to begin to recap how all of this scoring has got to end up on the board. But right now we are looking at the captains down on the field once again, and once again it is going to be overtime. This is second overtime. This time the Tate Aggies will be kicking off to, the Fort Walton Beach Vikings will have the opportunity from the 10-yard line to march the ball into the end zone, take the lead, and then flip the ball into the Aggies' court. If it sounds confusing, folks, it's really not. It's pretty basic. It all comes down to possession. And the psychology is you don't want to be the team to go for it first and possibly fail. So what you want to do is you want to see if your defense can hold your opponent, and if your defense can hold your opponent, then your offense should have the momentum to take the ball in. But right now we are looking at an anything can happen scenario. 10 touchdowns in this ball game, and I can honestly tell you that each and every one of them has been a highlight reel spectacular. Drew Roberts, the junior quarterback, just a year ago was the junior varsity quarterback. He's looking to take his Vikings to a 6-0 start. His number 10 ranked 6A Vikings. But he's trying to do it against a very scrappy Tate bunch. He pitches back. Oron Dixon down to about the 5-yard line. Oron Dixon has not accumulated a lot of yardage tonight, folks, but I can tell you he has accumulated key yardage tonight. I'm guessing that Oron now is probably close to about 85 yards on the evening, but this is not a matter of how many. It's a matter of how critical the yards. And on the previous possession, it was Oron who took the ball 9 yards down to the 1-yard line, setting up Drew Roberts to go in for the tying score. There's the handoff to Lovelace. Lovelace drops his knee down at about the 5. This is going to set up a 3rd and about 5. Now remember, folks, the Aggies have an opportunity following this Vikings possession to either tie the game or win the game. This is overtime. This is second overtime, and they'll keep on playing overtime until somebody wins this game. It's one of the most exciting aspects of sports. Now, we've got a timeout on the field. We're going to keep it right here. We have coach's strategy on top of coach's strategy. On the one hand, you're looking at Coach Joey Rankin and his Vikings staring at a 3rd and 4. That 4 yards is the distance between his quarterback and the goal line. On the other side of the field, Keith Leonard, Aggies' first-year head coach, trying to get his defensive charges up for one last defensive stand to keep these Fort Walton Beach Vikings out of the end zone. If they do so, then it will be up to TJ Touchstone to lead the Aggies to victory from 10 yards out on their possession. This is what high school football is all about, folks. Friday night, there's nothing like it. 3rd down. 4 yards. No such thing as a first down in this situation, folks. It's touchdown or nothing. There's Roberts faking. Hands off. Tony Lovelace. Touchdown, Vikings! They are going nuts here in Fort Walton Beach. Everyone is on their feet. The track is lined with people. Tony Lovelace gets back the one that he gave up earlier on a fumble, which led to a Tate touchdown. And Tony's teammates are saying, thank you, Tony. Here's Sterling Riggs with the all-important extra point. It's down, it's up, it's good. And now it's going to be the Aggies' turn. Our score, Fort Walton Beach 42, Tate 35.
Babcock Chiropractic Clinic offers the benefit of 31 years of practice experience in chiropractic health care, and Dr. Babcock is a graduate of Parker College. They provide good old-fashioned chiropractic care, and their office includes physical therapy procedures when necessary. You'll get care for auto accident injuries, sports injuries, and common household injuries. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic, 2150 East 9 Mile Road, 474-9970. Babcock Chiropractic Clinic.
It is the Aggies' turn. DeWitt Dukes. DeWitt Dukes, did he get in? It's very, very close. It's down to about the 1, maybe even inside the 1. That's a 9-yard carry for Dukes, who's got to be up around 265 yards in this ball game this evening. Folks, you better sit back. We could go all night long. And wouldn't you know it, on a night where I don't have a color commentator, I might not have a voice tomorrow. Up the middle, Kendall McNeil, touchdown Aggies! Our 12th score of the night. Kendall McNeil from 1 yard out. My, it now, timeout Tate on the field. We are going to keep it right here. It all comes down now to the foot of Mark Baker. Our score is Fort Walton Beach 42 and the Tate Aggies 41. Baker kicks the extra point. We go to a third overtime. Baker misses the extra point. Our ball game is over. I'm telling you, folks, there's nothing like it. I have not seen anything like this in I don't know how long. This is a remarkable football game. Glad to have you with us. And keep in mind, our Prize Sports Network, you could see this one again and again and again all weekend long. Consult your local listings. Here come the Tate Aggies. I don't think that this is going to be any more important than any other play that the Aggies have made over the course of the year. We've got a timeout now on the part of the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. We're going to take a break right now. We are going to take a pause with our score 42-41. We're awaiting the extra point on the part of Tate.
Jackson Pace Pharmacy, located at the corner of Pine Forest and 9 Mile Road across from the Milestone subdivision, is your friendly neighborhood, independently owned, full-service pharmacy that includes free prescription delivery, the diabetes shop with a full line of diabetic supplies and food items, gift items, greeting cards, and a drive-through window. Most insurance accepted. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and closed Sunday. Jackson Pace Pharmacy, corner of Pine Forest Road and 9 Mile Road, Pensacola.
Want the feeling of the outdoors with temperatures that you control? You can have the year-round spring feeling with a Sunroom Concepts patio room from Fokkers. Filled with light but weather-tight, the Sunroom Concepts patio rooms come in many sizes and styles, including skylights and sliding patio doors. They make wonderful additions to any home without the big cost of an additional room. Need to stretch out into a restful room that's perfect for recreation and relaxation? Call Fokkers today and get free skylights in your new patio room.
I'm Dean Githens for Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, where leather sofas start at only $600 and go all the way to $3,000. Leather sectionals start at only $1,200 up to $10,000, and you can have it custom built just the way you want it, and we'll have it in your home in 2 to 3 weeks. Or buy from our huge inventory, like this leather rocker recliner in your choice of 6 colors for only $459.95. Superior Bedrooms and Leather Gallery, Mobile Highway, Cordova Mall, and Fort Walton Beach.
What a turn of events, folks. Tate is going for the victory. They're going for 2. It's over! The Aggies have stunned this crowd. DeWitt Dukes runs it in. Yeah, wait a minute. There's a flag down on the field. Let's see what we've got here, folks. There's confusion reigning supreme. Oh my! It's a penalty against the Aggies, who had this game won, and now the worm has turned, as it were. The ball is spotted on the 15-yard line. And in order to tie this game, Tate is taking a timeout. In order to tie this ball game, Mark Baker is going to have to kick what is going to be the equivalent of a 32-yard extra point. We're going to pause right here for a little dramatic appeal. We'll be right back.
That's right, Pensacola. We're here, and we're no rookies. Save thousands of dollars away for Home Center, Pensacola. The largest private-owned dealers in America are now at your back door. Due to our huge volume savings, you can save thousands on your new home. Don't let a salesman tell you you're getting a good deal. Get the facts in writing at Wayne Friar's New Model Home Center, Pensacola. That's right, we're here, and we're here to stay. Wayne Friar Home Center, Highway 29 North, Pensacola.
Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29 in Pensacola is the oldest and largest manufacturer of aluminum buildings in town. For over 29 years, Ed has been in the business of quality and service. Aluminum buildings in all sizes and several colors. Utility trailers in all sizes and colors with new 3,500-pound axles. Carports installed from 12 by 20 to 2 big. Setup and delivery, financing available, Visa, MasterCard. Ed's Aluminum Buildings on Highway 29, just north of 9 Mile Road. Ed's Aluminum Buildings.
It's all down to this, the extra point. Baker kicks it. It's up from 32 yards, and it is good. We're going to triple overtime. Unbelievable. Mark Baker has tied this game at 42 after a penalty nullified what would have been DeWitt Duke's two-point conversion, which would have given Tate the victory. And we're now going into a third overtime. I cannot tell you, folks, this has got to qualify as one of the greatest high school football games in Northwest Florida history. I cannot recall any high school football game having this kind of drama, this kind of interplay between the two teams, the ebb and flow. And we are going to do it all over again in a third overtime. The officials are at the center of the field, and we're getting ready for the coin flip, which is going to determine our third overtime possession on the part of each of these ball clubs. We went into overtime tied at 28. Tate scored first in overtime. Pierce catching a 5-yard touchdown pass from Touchstone. Fort Walton Beach tied it on Drew Roberts' 1-yard plunge for touchdown. Then Fort Walton Beach went up on Tony Lovelace's 4-yard touchdown run, and Tate tied it on McNeil's 1-yard touchdown run and Mark Baker's crucial 32-yard extra point due to penalty after seemingly DeWitt Dukes had given the Aggies a victory with a 2-point conversion, which was a shocking strategy on the part of Keith Leonard to begin with. He showed himself to be a gambler. Well, here we go, 42 all. The Aggies first up. Touchstone at quarterback. Pitches back. DeWitt Dukes stopped at about the 9-yard line for a 1-yard gain. Everybody in the house is on their feet. This is a remarkable ball game, folks. It is now 2nd down, 9 yards for pay dirt for Tate. TJ Touchstone leads his troops. He's got Kendall McNeil right behind him in the backfield, and his deep back is number 2, DeWitt Dukes. Pitches back to Dukes. Dukes down at the 8-yard line. Picked up only another yard. It's going to make it 3rd and 8 for a score. And need I remind you again, if the Aggies fail to score, Fort Walton Beach will pick up possession at the 10-yard line with an opportunity to win the game. Should Tate score, the Vikings would have the opportunity to tie the game from the 10-yard line. I think we've all got that down pat now. Touchstone at quarterback once again. Hands off up the middle. Kendall McNeil, touchdown, 8 yards, Aggies. Folks, that is our 13th touchdown of this ball game. Kendall McNeil has now scored his 2nd consecutive touchdown. And once again, the talented toe of Mark Baker is center stage to see if he could put the Aggies up by 7. It's 48-42. Ball is snapped, spotted, placed down, kicked. It's up, and Baker, for the 7th time this evening, kicks the ball straight through the uprights. It is 49-42. Fort Walton Beach will now have the opportunity to tie it in this 3rd overtime.
Don't be afraid of acupuncture. Do you know what the acupuncture clinic can do for you? For over 20 years, Dr. Sheng, a Chinese physician and nationally board-certified acupuncture specialist and herbologist, has been tremendously successful in treating post-stroke paralysis, Bell's palsy, lower back pain, rheumatoid arthritis, tennis elbow, and other ailments. The acupuncture clinic also specializes in herbs from the traditional to the most exotic. Don't suffer from pain. Try acupuncture now. For more information, call the acupuncture clinic at their offices in Mobile or Pensacola.
13 touchdowns in this ball game, 91 points thus far. Drew Roberts needs to bring that total up to 98 if this game is going to continue. Roberts fakes the handoff and hands it off to Oron Dixon, who goes right, left, cuts, and is in for the touchdown. 10-yard run, the 14th touchdown of the night for Fort Walton Beach. Unbelievable. Oron Dixon. The 10-yard run for a score, and now it comes down to the toe of Sterling Riggs. 49-48 is our score. The kick is up. It's no good! Riggs missed. The Aggies win 49-48. There's bedlam on the Aggie side of the field, and the Fort Walton Beach fans are stunned. Unbelievable. Let's get a tight shot of that pandemonium on the field. Let's keep it right here. 49-48 is your final. Sterling Riggs missed the extra point. The Tate Aggies remain unbeaten in 6A, and the Fort Walton Beach Vikings drop to 5-1. We'll be right back to wrap this one up following these words.
Gents formal wear. In-stock inventory. Money back guarantee. Wedding specialist. Free groom's tuxedo. Prom headquarters. Great selection. Oscar de la Rente. One-day service. Rental and retail. Gents Formal Wear. 2 locations to serve you.
You've worked hard for how many years? You deserve your dream home. Different from the rest, custom built just for you with all the things you want. Sanborn Builders is your answer. Since 1970, they've been constructing quality into every home and office they've built.
My wife and I waited 20 years for the right house, and Mike has built our dream house.
You can rely on their education, professionalism, and desire to fulfill your dreams.
I'm tremendously happy with the progress here, and it's hard to imagine how it could be any better.
Call Mike Sanborn at 623-9409.
Sanders Manufactured Housing. It's what you've been waiting for. The big sale. Big sale at Sanders Manufactured Housing in Pensacola for a limited time only. For the month of October, Sanders Manufactured Housing presents Horton Homes' annual Big Sale. Homes with no money down. The lowest interest rates on the Gulf Coast. Factory rebates up to $1,500 can be used for an instant down payment. Only at the Big Sale at Sanders Manufactured Housing in Pensacola. Only in October. Don't stop till you find the one-of-a-kind on Highway 29. Sanders Manufactured Housing for the Big Sale.
This winter's going to be a cold one, but Elliott's Heating and Air Conditioning can keep you toasty warm this winter with a new high-quality Rheem central heating system. Elliott's is your local Rheem dealer and has the knowledge and experience to do the job right. Financing is even available. If your existing unit is not heating like it should, call 968-1216 for a pre-winter checkup and let Elliott service your system and get it heating like it should. Let Mr. Elliott keep your system warm on the cold nights ahead. Call 968-1216.
Absolute pandemonium on the field. 49-48 is our final score. Too many offensive, too many defensive players of the game. We're not going to single anybody out. I'm Art Goodman. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our Prize Sports crew for a fantastic job tonight. And again, this is what high school football is all about. Be with us again next week with another important district battle. Next week in Gulf Breeze when Don Cobb's Gulf Breeze Dolphins host Ronnie Gilliland's always tough Escambia Gators. Until then, remember, keep your eye on the ball. We'll see you again next week, same time, same station, for the Northwest Florida High School Football Game of the Week. Thanks for watching. Have a great week ahead, and good night, everybody.
Walton Beach, John. Thank you, Dan. Football fans here in Fort Walton Beach wait all year long for the annual Choctaw-Fort Walton game. Tonight, the two schools squared off for the 27th straight year. We've got the pictures. Choctaw coach Alan Cox looking for win number 1 and the upset this year. Vikes on the move first. Tony Lovelace cuts it outside. Looking for the sticks in the first down. The 15-yard gain gives him that. Sets up the field goal. Sterling Ring splits the poles. 3-0 Fort Walton. And, folks, the scoreboard is going kaflooey. Look out, more on that later. Then Lovelace finds the end zone on this 4-yard run. Gets in there, 9-0 Fort Walton, and now the scoreboard is dead. But Choctaw finds life. Robbie Naylor hits Joey Peters 20 yards in stride. Nice catch. 9-7 Vikings, late second quarter. Indians on their own 1. John Newby breaks in. The big guy gets the safety. 11-7 Fort Walton at the half. Second half, Vikes pounded in again. Cornelius Rose, watch the effort. He stopped there, but barrels his way through 18-7. And folks, we've got scoreboard power. That's a good sign. Fort Walton going for the knockout. Drew Roberts goes with the old bootlegger. 32 yards for the first down. And if you're looking for a knockout, this is a solid uppercut. Coach Cox, not a happy guy. Roberts then plunges in, and Fort Walton goes on to win and gets the knockout, 31-7. With the win, the Vikings improve to 6-1. Meanwhile, Choctaw falls to 0-8. Choctaw now leads in the overall series, 15-12. Fort Walton will now enjoy a week off while Choctaw prepares to host Escambia next Friday night. Now for more scores and highlights, we'll go back to Doug and Dan in Pensacola. All right, thank you very much, John.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joe Etheridge Stadium for some exciting high school football. Alan Wenzel along with Wendell Brock and Aaron Brock here in the booth for Emerald Coast Cable Television. And boy, Wendell, I tell you what, it's an exciting game. There it is, the Choctaw Fever, the Choctaw Indians coming through the goalpost. Wendell, there they go. It's going to be an exciting game tonight. Throw out the records. Fort Walton Beach coming in tonight's game 5-1. Choctawhatchee 0-7. And so two very different records, two very different football teams, but they both got the same goal tonight, Wendell. That is to beat the crosstown rival.
Yeah, this is Choctawhatchee's bowl game. They haven't won a game, but if they can beat Fort Walton, of course, that'll ease the pain of their season so far this year. But you know, the thing about it, this is a great change. This game used to be played the last game every year, and just before Thanksgiving. And this year, of course, they moved it to the middle of the year because they're both in different districts. And although we don't have the same flavor, the championship flavor that this game has been in the past, it's still an exciting football game.
And here come the Vikings. The Vikings in Class 2-5A. Wendell, they are third in the district behind Tate and Niceville. Of course, they lost a heartbreaker 2 weeks ago. We were here. Emerald Coast Cable Television was here. A 3-overtime loss to Tate for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings.
And just a great football game. And you know what? The coaches were real disappointed. The kids made a great effort, and they just came up short. Any other given night, I think Fort Walton would have beat them. They just didn't have a good game that night. Tate did some things that they hadn't quite prepared for. Plus, they probably had their worst tackling game they've ever had. This week, in their off week, Fort Walton was off the last week. That's what they work on, fundamentals. If you can't tackle people, a lot of times you can't win football games, so that's what Fort Walton has done. And, of course, we watched Choctawhatchee lose to a good BC Range team last week, and which Choctawhatchee did not look very good, turning the ball over. But everybody knows, and this has been my perception of Choctawhatchee, if they ever played 4 straight quarters, they would win this football game tonight. And Fort Walton knows that they're in for a football game. The record means absolutely nothing because Choctawhatchee has the ability to beat them if they don't play well.
And Choctawhatchee with some greats. They'll start on offense, Wendell. A nice quarterback they got. And the running excitement between Hayes Mathis and Elliott Brown.
Well, Hayes Mathis is my player. If I had a team, that's who I'd want on my football team. He's not very big, he's very quick, and he plays big because he'll run over you, and he's exciting to watch.
Sterling Riggs, the junior kicker for Fort Walton Beach High School, will toe, meet letter, short one. It'll be fair caught that time. Looks like they're number 20 on the catch, Mike Kellen. The Indians will take it over 1st and 10 at the 22, and Wendell, it's football here in Joe Etheridge Stadium.
Yeah, a little cool weather, big crowd. Saw a lot of my friends here.
Hey, we're on TV.
Oh, yeah, that's because you wore a coat and tie tonight. That's my son Aaron in the middle, but Alan wore a coat tonight to do a stand-up on the side of the field, and Rick forgot the camera.
I was easy to find. I was the handsome one in those 3.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 27-yard line. Robinson to give. Mathis, big hit right at the line. No gain. He's running up in there behind some big offensive linemen. We'll line them up there for you in a moment, but it'll bring up a 2nd and 9 Wendell for the Indians.
Now, I didn't see who made that tackle, but it looked like 84, Waylon Cotton. We'll have to get used to this. There you saw they give the ball to Hayes Mathis, who's been their offense. Mike Robinson, who is the thrower. He's not the runner, but he can throw the football. And his favorite receiver has always been Joey Peters, the wide out on the left side, as you can see.
Peters to the near side. Robinson to call signals. 2nd and 9. Quick give inside to Brown. He'll bang up in there, pick up 2. He'll take it up to the 30-yard line stripe. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Look like Troy McLean on the tackle for the Vikings.
And one thing that was surprising to a lot of people was Fort Walton's defense had been playing so well the last few games, and Tate's running backs, they just were real disappointed that the defense didn't play a little bit better the week against Tate, even though Fort Walton had a chance to win that football game.
Full house backfield. Robinson to call signals. 3rd and 6, the ball on the 30. The cross counter, Hayes Mathis, he'll run short of the first down. He'll pick up 2. It'll bring up a punting situation for the Indians. Look like John Newby there on the tackle for the Vikings.
And one of the big matchups tonight is going to be number 69, Deal at center, and John Newby, the nose guard for Fort Walton. His job is to take on Deal and disrupt traps and things like that. That'll be an interesting matchup tonight.
Robbie Naylor, the sophomore punter, takes the snap, big high one. Little end over end short. It'll bounce at the 39. Take an Indian bounce. It'll head toward the sidelines and be blown dead. Look like right there at the 30. The Vikings at 10:09 take their first possession. The score 0-0 here at Joe Etheridge Stadium.
And now we're talking about the biggest surprise, and I hope I don't use the word surprise because the coaching staff at Fort Walton has put this team together. But Drew Roberts
the 6-foot, 184-pound quarterback has really been pledged. You can't play football if you don't have a good quarterback, somebody that'll make good decisions. But Drew Roberts has done an outstanding job this year.
To give that time, Tony Lovelace, he'll take it up, probably pick up 2. Lots of dancing. He ran for 20 and picked up 2.
23.
Looked like, who was it? Lance Williams there on the tackle for the Indians. Number 23 there, Lance Williams. There you go, the counter, the ends. Lovelace, what a move inside, spins, turns, good for the first down. Excellent running that time by the fullback, Tony Lovelace.
Well, Tony, of course, has been good all year, but and he has really come on as the year's gone. But what I was going to ask you at the beginning of the telecast, or tell you, was the thing that Fort Walton's going to do tonight. They're going to line up and run right at Choctawhatchee. Bullock, Oder, Reeder, Smith, and Ross. They figured that they're stronger than the defensive line of Choctawhatchee, so they figured they can run at them.
We'll see here. Fumble on this interchange of the snap.
I think that Choctawhatchee had the ball, too.
You get the Indians up there pointing that direction.
And something.
It looked like number 60 there, Josh Boland come up with the play. Was it Reeder?
And Reeder got back on the football, but boy, that, you hate to see that exchange. But we were talking about Bullock, 6'3", 305. Oder, 6 foot 200. Reeder, 3-year starter at center, anchors that line. Smith, 6'3", 320. 6'3", 320. Cameron Ross, 6'2", 280. And they have been playing real well. They're not just big, they play well.
8:35, quick pitch. That time to Lovelace on the end, trying to catch the corner. Gets up in a wall of green, and I tell you what, the Indians been playing great defense there, swarm to the ball. Derek McKinney leads the way. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8 that time for the Vikings.
Choctawhatchee's defense, we saw this the other night, run real well laterally. I mean, what I mean laterally is that they are really tough to run outside. They do run to the ball real well. There you saw a good intense defensive play by Choctawhatchee.
Roberts drops the pass, looks over the middle, throws deep, has a man. Ooh, a little short that time, intended there for number 88.
No, that's Corey Scott. And if Drew would have thrown it longer, it would have been 6. Of course, Corey Scott, 6'4", 200, and a great play by number 14, Chad Lindsey there. Now, Chad Lindsey is, doesn't say, is he 6 feet?
6 foot.
He's 6 foot. So ball on the thrower, it would have been 6.
Roberts to punt. Kicks a knuckleball up in there. Good coverage by the Vikings. Little bunny hop in there. They'll take it to the 29. They're saying it was touched by an Indian.
It was. You know what? It did. That wasn't that was touched by an Indian.
Sure was. Looked like he was jumping, high stepping. Looked like thought he missed him there, Wendell.
Well, the thing, we couldn't tell from here. It looks like he missed it. But the referee was right there on it. And once again, Choctawhatchee does something to one thing you want to do if you're a Choctawhatchee defender is get away from the football. And
7:35 left here in the first period. No score. The Vikings on the ball at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Roberts, he'll give to Lovelace. He's at the 20, still on his feet. Slips down, and I'll tell you what, that may make a difference out here tonight, Wendell. Some slippery turf.
Yeah, it is wet tonight, and I think he would have scored because Corey Scott just had a great block on Chad Lindsey. He had him sealed off, and if Lovelace had not slipped, he would have scored. But did you see the blocking of Fort Walton's offensive line there? It looked like the Choctawhatchee defensive line melted.
Toss sweep, Lovelace at the tailback to the 20, turns upfield, looking for some running room. The green string it out, though, for maybe a yard, Wendell. Let's see where they'll put the foot down. Maybe at the 15, looking like Eric Walbert on the tackle for the Indians.
The thing about it, Tony has got, we talked about this last week, he's got to get his shoulders, he's got to start going downhill or north and south quicker than that. Tony does not have breakaway outside speed, but when he turns upfield, he's as good as anyone. He's got to get his shoulder square and get down upfield quickly.
He gives to Lovelace. Hitting the backfield. Sacked down that time, 23, Lance Williams. And Lance having a huge game already here tonight.
Well, 2 big starts by Lance, 6'2", 200 pounds. I don't know what grades he in, but defensive tackle, good defensive play by Lance.
Junior.
He's a junior.
Junior. Lance.
Of course, Choctawhatchee has a lot of young people, you know, this year. They, Jamie Neighbors, who I've just been really impressed with at linebacker, number 1. He's a sophomore, and I think Ashley Reeves, number 44, is a 9th grader, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's a 9th grader. He's 6 foot, 194 pounds. The other linebacker, so you have a sophomore and a 9th grade freshman linebacker, and so they're young enough. But I remember Julian Pittman starting in 9th grade at Niceville. So 9th graders can play football. And Ashley's 6 foot, 194.
The Vikings with a timeout here, Wendell. Here's the first trivia question. What year, who won the very first matchup between the Vikings and the Indians? This is an easy one.
It was a so-called flag game. Choctaw won, but what I understand, they...
Very controversial plays at the end.
Very controversial play at the end. Yes. We'll just leave it at that. any phone calls.
Tim Hayden, rest his soul, swears he was still clipped on that play. Vikings dropped a pass, 3rd long, almost intercepted. Jamie Neighbors had his hands on it, in and out of the hands. Good coverage, that ball. Looked like intended to look for Stephen Lee.
And now we see Drew Roberts trying to run a little seam pattern out there with Tony Lovelace, but that wasn't there. He threw that right into coverage, and just a bad decision by Drew. And Drew, we don't mean anything by that, but you're going to make more. You've made more good ones than you have bad ones, so. Sterling.
The ball at the 25. Of course, this will make a 35-yard field goal. Plenty of leg, long, up, and good. The ball hits the field post. It's the, what would you call that, flag pole.
The flag pole.
That'd be the flag pole. Hit the flag, and I guess the flag pole would be dead in the middle of the goal post, so I would say he was right in the middle.
I would say that was a good kick. Excellent kick. Sterling Riggs. Glad to see Sterling jump right back in there and kick one. You know, we were talking about this game, although both stands are full. I can remember when you couldn't even walk down the track for the people coming to this football game.
That was before video games.
Or some other things I guess people can do. And, of course, you know, the thing about it, Niceville's playing tonight, and Niceville, of course, we know the history of their team, finally arriving in the late 80s, early 90s under Frank Sarles. They play good football, and Okaloosa County there's a lot of entertainment tonight, a lot of football games you can go see.
I tell you what, I have the surprise for you, but Niceville arrived back on the scene in the 70s, too. Because those guys could hit as hard as any team we played, I promise you. They whipped us a few times back in those 70s.
Okaloosa County has had about as many champions as anybody, you know. Fort Walton twice, Choctaw once, Niceville once, Baker. And, of course, Crestview has been to the semifinals a couple of times. You know, Alan, what do you remember? You played in the first and second one of these football games.
Actually, I played in the second and third.
The second and third, okay.
I played in the band on the first one.
Okay.
They needed my talents a little more in the band situation in the first one.
Well, what is your memory about the first one, the 27-0 game? Like, who was on that football team?
Who was on that football team?
Cliff Lewis was on that one, wasn't he?
Prescott. No, Mr. Lewis was not there yet.
Chirillos?
Chirillos were there. The Michaels were there. Bobby Michaels.
Bobby Michael was there. I remember that. Are you sure it was Bobby? Yeah, it was. That was.
Bobby Michaels.
You're right.
I had my annual here. I could rip off a bunch of them.
Chester Norris was the coach.
Chester Norris was the coach, and they gave us the jerseys. Actually, I brought my jersey tonight. I thought we were going to get on TV a little earlier, but we didn't make it, and I brought my jersey to show you. They gave us the game jerseys after we beat Choctahatchee for the first time. The deep kick, this one will be taken by Denarius Thomas at the 5. He'll run it up inside. I tell you what, buddy, he's running with a heart of gold and a lot of steam in there. He'll take it to the 24, 1st and 10 for the Indians. 5:47 left in the first period. The Vikings on top, 3-0.
Troy McLean. Oh, John Townsend on the tackle. Thank you. Indians last series, 3 and out.
Hayes Mathis running with lots of heart and desire. Tripped up in the backfield.
Well, that's John Newby. We talked about that matchup. He's going to be over Aaron Deal, and he's a wrestler. He bench presses a tremendous amount. He's going to get up under the pads, or try to, all night. And his entire job all night is to disrupt Choctahatchee's handoffs and their traps. If you drive that center backward, then they can't pull their guards, and it causes a whole lot of problems.
2nd and 7 for the Indians. Chase down and sacked that time, number 80. 60, Jamal Yates. I'm sorry, look like number 80. I can't see these numbers from here.
That's Jamal Yates.
He chased him down and pulled him, boy. They'll lose 12 on the play. It'll take it to the 15. Gonna be a 3rd and, how far do you think, Wendell? A hike.
About 20.
That's a hike.
Well, you played under Chester Norris. Chester Norris was 4-3 in this series. Eddie Davenport was 4-8. Jimmy Ray Stevens 2-1. Joey Rankin tonight, this is his 5th game. He is 1-3, and so Joey wants this. This is a pride night for Joey. He wants this football game. Of course, he wants them all, but. And of course, this is Alan Cox's first Fort Walton beats Choctahatchee game, and just 2 of the 8 Choctaw coaches have won their first game against Fort Walton. The 2 that won their first game was Dwight Thomas in 1979 and Eddie Davenport in 1978. But all the other rookie coaches, and I put that in quotes, of course, were unable to win in their initial game against Choctahatchee. Choctahatchee has the longest winning streak. The record right now, Choctahatchee's won 15, Fort Walton's won 11. At one time during the 80s, Choctaw had won 5 in a row. So this is a storied history, and like you said earlier, Alan, a lot of time records don't mean anything in this game.
Well, like you said, from the first time since 1972, this is the first time the game's been played during the regular season. Most of the time played the end of the game. I don't know what that changes emotionally, but you're right about one thing. It changes nothing as far as somebody wanting to win this thing. The Indians, toss sweep, Mathis hit hard in the backfield. Pick up maybe 2, but when he'll be a ways from that first down marker. It'll bring up a 4th and maybe about 18.
John Peters, the linebacker on that side, Jamal Yates, the outstanding job, and that's been one of Choctahatchee's most effective plays, a little toss sweep there with Hayes Mathis. But Fort Walton did a great job of stopping him.
Naylor to kick. Boy, he booms along when it turns over, and it's still going, Wendell. It'll hit it to 40. It'll roll dead somewhere around the 27. Robbie Naylor, the sophomore punter, buddy, he hits a home boomer there.
Everybody's hollering that Al Jackson touched it, but I don't believe Al touched it, because if Al would have touched it, I'm quite sure that Al would have hauled Buggy to go get it. A lot of coaches yelling, but there's only one guy that has the decision down there. And Robbie Naylor, that's a great punt.
That was a great punt. I was going to add it up, but I couldn't get to my math. I ran out of fingers. Lova still tracing around in there. Good for the first down. Tell you what, now there's a guy that knows how to follow blockers.
Well, that's Fort Walton's going to try to go north and south. They're going to run those little isolations. when you talk about isolation, what we're talking about is a linebacker is left out there by himself. They lead the fullback on him, and Lovelace follows him. They try to double down on the nose. Choctawhatchee playing their 50 defense. But as you can see, Lovelace is so effective when he's running north and south. And I hope we don't have to have a vocabulary test. North and south means up and down the field, not sideways.
Well, that time he ran, was that north or south?
He ran a little east and then he turned south.
Somewhat east in town. We need one of those GPS locators around here. Get it right. Jathan Whitehead, Eric Walbert on the tackle for the Indians. There's a good shot in there.
Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, the quarterback.
Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Peters.
This is Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
And Joey Peters, of course, the
now they have, boy,
receiver.
I was going to say, Choctaw hadn't adjusted here.
2nd and 8. That time he'll give the Lovelace. Boy, I tell you what, he's running hard right up in there behind Oder and Bullock. Looked like Lance Williams once again on the tackle, but a pickup of 3, bring up a 3rd and 4. 3rd and 3 maybe, Wendell.
Lance Williams already with 3 big tackles.
And the officials timeout.
Well, if they wanted water, they had some this morning.
We don't need a water break. Actually, I wore my boots tonight in case you was going to take me out on that field.
Well, I am so disappointed because we were all set to do our Al Michaels stand-up pregame show, and I guess we'll have to do it later. When's our next game after tonight?
Next week.
Who do we have next week?
I don't know. They haven't told me yet. Third and 3. The Vikings look to throw. Complete that time. There he is.
Corey Scott.
I'm telling you, Corey Scott, the 6'4", 200-pound senior, has had a huge year. 22 catches, 352 yards, and 4 touchdowns, and he's adding to it tonight.
Well, nothing very hard about that. They just spread him out. He ran right down the seam. Drew put it right on his 6'4" frame. That's got to be a heck of a target. In every game that Corey Scott's been in, there's always been a mismatch with the receiver on him. It's very tough to cover him one-on-one with a short defender. Plus, Corey plays basketball, and he has those kind of skills, too. Leaping, in other words.
He plays for Fort Walton Beach High School.
He plays basketball, a good athlete.
Boy, I tell you what, still on his feet, lots of heart. Cornelius Rose, he'll run up there behind Ross Lee and Smith. Look like a host of Indians on the tackle. Lance Williams leading the way.
There you see, once again, a very successful play for Fort Walton when they run right at Choctawhatchee. Choctawhatchee's defensive line, 186. Eddie Gray, 186. Matt Camp, 170. Joseph Claiborne, 200. Lance Williams, 200. And Jathan White at 188. And the guys, they're lining up on weigh 300.
We couldn't have put 3 guys on our team together to get to 300 pounds.
Corey Scott is not covered. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Boy, I tell you what.
The Choctawhatchee, they lined up. They saw it. But see, Fort Walton called the timeout. Boy, that drives you crazy if you're a coach. There you see Coach Rankin right now.
He had the twins out there to the left side and only one defender.
And nobody on Corey. Nobody. The Choctawhatchee coaches were going crazy. There was one defender out there. Corey Scott was uncovered. Nobody on him. And Fort Walton did not have a play call to get the ball to him. And I know Joey's like, did Fort Walton get a penalty on that? They get a delay of the game penalty? No timeout. Well, that's weird.
Well, it sure backed them up 5 yards. Throw on the corner. That time complete to Corey Scott. Up near the first down. Let's see where they run him out. Derek McKinney on the coverage over there for the Indians.
Now, you talk about a perfectly thrown ball, a very professional pass. The wideout on that side, I guess it was Daniel Reed cleared out. Corey Scott ran a little out route underneath, and Drew Roberts put it right on the money.
Counter inside, chase down from behind.
Jathan Whitehead.
Yeah, he's got lots of speed. Whitehead got his name called a few times last week.
Jathan, a 5'11", 188-pound senior. My wife's cousin's young man, Pam Whitehead, son of Pam and Ronald Whitehead.
Another timeout on the play.
Well, Alan, you still didn't tell me about your experience in the first. What do you?
Well, I was in the band.
Well, no, past the band.
My first year we played, we beat them 27-0.
Oh, what? Tell me, what was your highlight of the Choctaw Fort Walton game? Your highlight. That's what we want to. You're interested in hearing.
Well, I played whiteout at the time, and
Chester Norris.
Yeah. You know what we'll do? I'll tell you what, we'll come back and share that story with you in just a moment. We'll come back here at the second period in a moment.
Want a few good reasons to bank at First National Bank of Crestview? How about custom checking accounts tailored to just your needs? Checking accounts for people that write lots of checks, very few checks, or want to draw interest on their accounts. Whatever you need, First National Bank of Crestview has it. Add to the conveniences such as 2 locations, the most drive-through windows in town, 24-hour automatic tellers, and you start to see why it just makes sense to bank with your hometown bank. That's First National Bank of Crestview, your hometown bank.
Second quarter action, the Vikings. The keeper slipped up on the play. I tell you what, Drew Roberts, the junior quarterback, takes it around the right side, tucks it in. Good for the first down inside to the 7-yard line. First and goal, Wendell.
But the thing about it is that Fort Walton's already run Lovelace and Rose. And then when Drew pulls the ball down, he had a big hole there. And if it hadn't been slippery, he'd have scored, no problem. Drew can run the football. He's a strong runner.
Well, we know it's the second period, but the other thing we know is the clock is out, and so all the time's going to be kept on the field. I think they called for an electrician, see if we couldn't get something working up here, but we're going to do the best we can of keeping up with the score and time. Looking like Roderick Bryant, Derek McKinney, both in on the tackle.
There you see that when Fort Walton, when Choctawhatchee strings that ball out like that, they are a lot quicker than Fort Walton's running backs, and they can get to the corner. Fort Walton hasn't been very successful at that. Like I said, the most success that Fort Walton's going to have tonight is getting upfield quickly, what they call going downhill, or getting their shoulders upfield quickly.
Rose and Lovelace in the backfield. This give to Lovelace. He'll take it up inside, toss, man, he towed a dove, did he? They're going to say his knee was down.
There you see what we're talking about. Just use that offensive line. They ran right at him. And here comes Choctawhatchee's. Sometimes you call it the big guys or a jumbo. Or
there's your rainbow color there, Wendell. Half green, half red.
Is green in the rainbow?
Green in the rainbow. I don't know. It has to be. Rainbow has all colors.
You know, I know why we had that earthquake.
Why?
Because you were going to wear a tie tonight.
That could be it. How about the Vikings here? Third and goal. Lovelace steps up inside. Touchdown, Vikings. Let's guess how much time's left in the second period. I'd say 11 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, you know, Stephen Lee there and Cameron Ross, they just cleaned out the side Choctawhatchee defensive line on that side. Good block. Number 65, Cameron Ross, a 6'2", 280-pound. Just a great block there, allowing Lovelace to score.
Riggs steps back to kick.
Position today for the New Orleans Saints. 4 has started inside the Saint 40-yard.
Peters there at the 42 is best receiver, and you see why. I'll tell you what, great adjustment that time.
That's a good catch by